Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
Of the NASRA Blanchard's Towing Xfinity Series. Brady LaBeouf will win the championship and the race in the Butt Kicker 250.
Keith Bradley gets his second championship on the Friday Night Series with the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series Season 8. This rookie season, he will win the championship for the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to one of the oldest and most prestigious short tracks in North America, Martinsville Speedway. I almost said Super Speedway for some reason, Dean. I kind of get crossed up sometimes, but Martinsville Speedway is where we're at here tonight for the 213simware.com 250. You're going to see it all live here for the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series, live on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. Good evening, folks. I'm the redneck announcer, Jake Reeves. The Australian Dean Hopton Biggles in the house with co-commentating, giving you some fantastic camera angles of a beautiful, beautiful short track that you see right here, Martinsville, Virginia, half a mile long, flat. I mean, this is old school right here, Dean. This is about as old school as you can get it here at Martinsville. I love this place. The only problem is we see a whole hell lot of chaos that happens here at this track.
I think we will, Jacob, for sure. Welcome, everybody. Good evening. How's your Friday evening or Saturday morning, where it depends who you are in the world, of course, because short track racing equals carnage. And as Stephen, who was having his Halloween, enjoying his Halloween break at the moment, to some prior arrangements to that, would say, Jacob, NASRA, chaos.
Absolutely. That is one thing that I believe every single one of these drivers is going to be worried about here tonight. And obviously that NASRA chaos will get interesting. And to be honest with you, folks, there's a big-time points battle going on with these guys right now. MDW Matthew David Wood currently has that regular season points lead as of right now, only by about 9 points over Adam Newton. Dustin Scruggs, who's come so damn close to winning a couple races this season, he's currently sitting third. This is just regular season points for that regular season championship. Dustin Scruggs actually 5 behind Adam Newton. Tristan Bruce sitting back there in that 4th spot. And Jordan Jurassic currently sitting in 5th. That's just regular season points. But what you're seeing on your screen right now with these guys that's got these locks, they are locked in with wins. Scruggs is actually locked in on points. So he could really screw up the next or tonight, and he could get wrecked out at Daytona, and he'd still be able to make the playoffs. But I'm telling you, Dean, that damn cut line right there, where Devin Painter, Raul Meza, Joshua Suss, all these guys right here in this area, this is going to be interesting right here for some of these guys right there on that cut line these next 2 weeks.
This is where you got to make it up. Perhaps short track racing could be a godsend for them, Jacob, because of the fact that, They might not be as quick on the super speedways, but certainly can seize the opportunity. You got to be in the right place at the right time, really, in this track, don't you? And also seize those opportunities because you got to be scrubbing through those tires. And the schedule, my friend, well, here we are. Of course, arrived at round 14 in the series. And as you said, only one more. You got Daytona, and then the playoffs begin.
Yep, Daytona's going to be an interesting one next week for that 100-lap sprint. 100-lap feature, however you want to look at it. And then there's your 3 races right there for the round of 20. Chicagoland, Atlanta, Homestead. I'm not 100% if that is Legacy Atlanta or not. Maybe we can get with some of the NASRA officials. Obviously, I would think it would be Legacy Atlanta because obviously they've already ran the new Atlanta already this season. I'll remember that one very, very well, Dean. Well, everybody's lined up on the front stretch. Let's get you lined up for the starting grid here tonight for the 213, 213, however you want to look at it, Simware.com, 250. And Ryan Johnson, he is on the front row. Tristan Bruce to his outside. Dean, real quick, this is actually kind of weird right here to have Ryan Johnson, Tristan Bruce going to be starting side by side. Folks, if you have been following here with the NASRA 360 Racing Network and following what's been going on with NASRA, think back to Tuesday night for the Blanchard's Towing Xfinity Series and what happened out of all that. Tristan Bruce on the top side tried to dive it down 3 wide across the 57 of, well, hell me, and then ends up getting sideways. He collects into Ryan Johnson. So there is beef already on that front row right now with Ryan Johnson and Tristan Bruce. Ironically enough, both of them will start right beside one another here this evening. Your regular season points leader coming into tonight by 9 points. MDW will start in third. And how about that? The guy that's sitting in second in the regular season points, Adam Newton, is going to roll off in fourth. Jeff Murray, who had a heartbreaker last week at Michigan, he's going to roll off from P5. And the most recent guest on the door banging down low for Spotify and Apple Podcasts, my podcast that I have each and every week, the latest beer buddy, Holden McGill, and also trying to go for 2 in a row right here. Dean won at Michigan last week. He's going to roll off P6. Brendan Schumann and Cody Knott will make up row number 4, 7th, and 8. Keith Bradley, the animal, and Dylan Cardenas, who will start in that 10th spot, Dean. He was looking good last week at Michigan. We'll see if he can pull it off here tonight at Homestead. Jose Luis Rivera, Jordan Jurassic, 11th and 12th. Stephen Gregory will start 13th. Devin Painter right there on that cut line. Devin Painter, the roll off P14. Raul Meza and Joshua Suss, they'll be in that 8th row, 15th and 16th. Brian Shue and James Beard, 17th and 18th. Shane Trotter, Huck Wigginton will round out the top 20. Ed Osborne, Chris Blanchard, Brandon Broadfoot, Eric Zimmerman, and Matt Cherry. That's the top 25 with Joshua Rodriguez, Isaac Bevan, Brandon Bullock, Keith Haney, and Stephen Thomas, the 30 drivers here tonight. Kyle Hess will be 31st. TJ Moore, your race control here this evening. They're going to give them 3 laps right here, Dean. And what are we thinking right here, Dean? Because, I mean, you know, you go ahead and laugh. I got a feeling you already know where I'm going with this. What are we thinking right here or to get ready right here for Martinsville?
Here's the race details as well, too. There should be race details coming up in a moment. Maybe I've messed something up there, Jacob. But we'll go back down to the tracker. There it is in a moment. Well, it's trying to keep your nose clean, I think, at the end of the day. It's harder, but when you've got a stacked grid of 31 drivers on a short track like this, Jacob, it's going to be dots everywhere on that track map, which I'm going to show you up in the corner there, as you can see. They're all bunched up together. Wait till they start spreading out. Lap trucks everywhere you're going to have to deal with. And then all that on top of your head, you're going to have to go, all right, what am I going to do for pit stops? When am I going to take them? There's going to be probably a lot of caution, so you get an opportunity to go down pit road by yourself, but they're just going to come out and everywhere, and you're really going to have to start crunching numbers and working out what to do here for the 213 Simware 250.
Absolutely. I mean, and honestly, these guys will obviously have to make one pit stop there at 80% fuel capacity. You saw the race details. Stage 1, Stage 2, both of them going to continue under green. Don't really know if that's going to matter or not, but we'll see how that works out. 75, 125, 200. 3 sets of tires. That's 2 in the pits, 1 on the truck. Like I said, that 80% fuel capacity. I would think, Dean, once they get around to give or take lap 100, you'll see a lot of them go down. But it's going to be a track position game here tonight. 3 green-white checkers. I got a feeling we're going to use every damn one of them, folks. Here we go. For the 14th race in Season 9 of the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series underway, and they dive it down into Turn 1. Ryan Johnson on the inside. Tristan Bruce up top. Remember, there is beef there from the Tuesday night Blanchard's Toyota Xfinity Series. We'll see if Tristan tries to drive it in deep. He does not. He will stay right on his tailgate, and they'll go off of turn number 4. Jeff Mark going to go from all the way from 5th up to 3rd, maybe looking to try to dive down to the inside of Adam Newton. Actually, Mark's holding in that 5th spot right now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Literally nobody changed a position just yet, Dean.
That's good. That is very, very good considering the start of the race. They probably learned, okay, let's just take it easy. Let's not do anything too crazy too early. It's going to be a long race, 200 laps around here. And let's just make sure that we tuck in and do it right. And as you said, that nothing changes in the top 7 so far. Oh, and we have a wreck, my friend. Just before I spoke too soon.
Have a wreck back there in the back. Yes, Huck Wigginton, Ed Osborne back there as well, kind of slipped a little bit. We're seeing Huck Wigginton going around on the track. And like I said, Dane, I mean, this is short track racing right here. And people is going to make contact with one another. And that's just how it will be. Huck Wigginton actually kind of drives in right here, gets a little bit deep. No, gets on the brakes. Back in, starts to step out, comes up, hits Kyle Hess. Absolutely nowhere for him to go. And unfortunately, both of them will be involved right there. And I'm assuming Mr. Huck Wigginton and the Krispy Kreme 00 will end up getting the EOL right there. But, yeah. I mean, Dean, you got to do that. You got to be able to, from a driver's point of view here, when you go into these tracks right here, you got to have that brake bias as low as you can to make the back end of that truck want to step out and make that front turn. So that's where these guys is really going to be playing, or at least they have been in the practice session. They've been trying to play with that brake bias to see how low they can go and not to spin it out. Now, they can adjust it in the truck, but the only thing is they can't, go from, 57 on the brake bias and shoot all the way up to 70. They can only go 3% in either direction. So they can still make that adjustment in the truck. The only difference is they just can't, like I said, they can't just go, 10 different ways with it. They can only go a limited amount. Check out Ryan Johnson. Got the VR right there rolling up here on the front row. Tiny Horse, come on with 3rd Tuesday night for the Blanchard's Towing Xfinity Series right behind Holden McGill and myself. And Holden had some words about Ryan Johnson. He talked about Ryan on the podcast this week, Dean. He said Ryan Johnson, if he gets himself in a situation to get a win, to definitely watch out for him. Well, he's up here up front right now.
Oh, that's interesting. I like that. And I like the fact that we have drivers that have beef too. That would be quite good if we can see some of it this evening. I think they've got to battle more of the track than they have to battle any beef at the moment with other drivers. Hopefully not. Jeff Mack's got his cam on as usual. There's the Maxstar getting it done. Hello, Dawn, out there. If you're watching there, Daniel Gobble's watching. And we got the boss man's watching too. So be on your best behavior there, please.
Yes. Yes, better be on your best behavior, especially with Jeff Mark. Kind of got busted last week, or this past Tuesday. He got busted for a comms penalty, or actually it wasn't really a comms penalty. Actually, it was a broadcasting error. I had to go back and watch it, and I was like, wow. But anyway, we'll leave that in the past the way that it is. We'll get ready for a restart. Double file right here. Ryan Dawson, Tristan Bruce. They'll be on the front row, basically right where they started. Literally everybody up in the top 7 have not changed position. The first guy to change the position was Keeper. He started 9th. He's going to be 8th. Jose Luis Rivera started 11th. He's going to be 9th. And Cody Knott started 8th. He's going to be 10th. Dylan Cardenas started 10th. He's going to be 11th. So those guys, basically, one position, give or take. Nobody really a big gainer yet, Dane. Only coming to 9 laps into a 200-lap race here at Martinsville. But I got a feeling those numbers will change before it is all said and done. Green flags in there. Ryan Johnson gasses up. Tristan Bruce on his outside. Thought about taking a 3 wide there for just a split second, but thought better of it. He may try to follow Ryan Johnson, but he's not going to be able to get the power down off 2. It's drives straight in and cuts him off. And they come into the outside. They can do it back on turn 4.
Yeah, Jacob, you're breaking up a little bit at the moment. I'm not quite sure what's happening with the Discord connection between us, but it sounded a little robotic there, so hopefully it'll sort itself out in a minute. Ryan Johnson's got a good lead, but the big battles for P2 and P3, as you'd mentioned, MDW's right in the mix. Adam Newton's going to be sitting in a bird's-eye seat for watching that one, and we have Ed Osborne, I think, going around. Yes, it is.
Ed Osborne going around.
Round. I think that might have just been by himself. Sorry there, Jacob. Go ahead.
Am I back, Dean? Am I good now?
Still a little robotic there, Jacob. Not quite sure what it is. Whoa, that was almost 3 wide coming out of the corner, isn't it? Just gets turned. Eric Zimmerman as well, too. I think Eric Zimmerman caught the end of that. Let's have a look. Eric Zimmerman was running practically almost plump last at this one, and he's probably going to arrive at the scene of the accident. And very good evasion. Just a little tap. He's okay. All right, Jacob. Yeah. How's he? Give us a check 1, 2, please. He's sorting it out on his end. Ryan Johnson's still in the lead of this one. Please let us know how it's all going.
Are we good now, Dean?
Yes,
are we good?
Great. Yep. There we go. That's the
great.
Now, voice.
Okay, maybe.
Whoa! What's the stack up on the grid here?
Crazy stuff going on.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was over here trying to get my stuff kind of figured out, but yeah, there is a little bit of a stack up right there with those guys. Maybe just a little bit of a brake check right there, with everybody just trying to get lined up. Maybe Dean, or maybe that's what it had to do on that.
Yeah, I'd say the pace car slowed them all down, isn't it? And everybody just basically stop at a dime. Little unsafe there, Mr. Pace Car. Got to pick up the pace a little bit, okay? You can't have cars stopped on the track there. It's going to make them overheat. You know, there's no fan, they're air cooled, these engines, so I don't like being sitting there and overheating. I don't know if that happens in the sim there, Jacob, but who knows? It happens in the real world.
I mean, there's a lot of crazy stuff that could happen, especially, real racing, sim racing, however you want to look at it. But Ryan Johnson's still up front at this moment. Tristan Bruce up here. I don't expect any of these guys to make a pit stop just yet. So, Dean, I think that'd be a great time for us to hear from some of our great sponsors here in Nazareth, folks. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series live here on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network.
Starbase 1552 Comics. We sell everything a collector would want. Comics, Funkos, action figures, and so many more. A real American comic book shop. We are online only. Starbase 1552 Comics. Find us on eBay Auctions.
And folks, we are back here at Martinsville, ready to rock and roll once again. We're getting ready for a restart here at Martinsville. Green flag is in the air. Ryan Johnson still has the lead going into turn 1. Tristan Bruce up on that top side. Here comes MDW down to the bottom side.
Oh, wow. MDW sees an opportunity on a race start and sneaking his way up one position there. Right behind Ryan Johnson. And another wreck at the back, my friend. Didn't take too long. Quite see who it was. Chris Blanchard. Oh, no. Is it Chris Blanchard? I'm seeing something on my race control messages showing that. TJ Moore is our race director this evening. Oh, there was a pile up before.
Good.
Is that Raul Meza going around?
Mercy. Yes, sir. That is Raul Meza in the 37. He was up there at a pretty good spot a while ago. Big time stack up right there. I think it was just a huge stack up right there, probably. With guys just trying to get in right here, and Broadfoot kind of got into the back of him, and looked like I'm trying to find it was Joshua Suss. So Meza kind of gets into the back of Suss, sends him, then Broadfoot gets into the back of him, sends him. Thus actually gets away clean. Broadfoot and everybody else behind him. There you see Blanchard back there. He gets involved as well as I believe that is Matt Cherry. I believe it is in the 45 right behind him. Kind of got stacked up in all of this once again. We'll check it out. Instant replay. Johnson right there. Good fire off. MDW actually is going to restart second out of all this.
Yeah.
But there you see the stack up. Suss trying to stay off the truck in front of him. Meza, Meza just kind of runs straight in there, and he's trying to check up. Broadfoot tags him in the tailgate, sends him around. Blanchard, he's stuck. Cherry's stuck. It's just a typical Martinsville stack-up, Dean. That's exactly what it is.
That's why you want to be where the tiny horse is, at the front, so that you can avoid the other 31-odd cars. Matt Cherry's in pit road at the moment. Yeah, just not be there. So let us know if the audio levels are good out there, please, boss man, as well as you fixed what the problem is on your end. So you're sounding fantastic now, Mr. Redneck Announcer, of course, so that we can hear you on your podcast, which you just had last night, I believe, right? For the door bang and download.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Finally, I think we get it all fixed. I messed up. I had my Xbox actually in sleep mode, Dean, and that's one of them things you don't do is have your Xbox in sleep mode when you're trying to broadcast, because guess what? It just don't work out. It does not work at all. You'll end up lagging out of stuff. You'll start getting bad audio and all that good stuff. And yeah, I mean, you was talking about, the door banging download. Obviously, we had that recorded. Had Mr. Ryan, I was looking at Ryan Johnson right there on the screen. Holden McGill had him on the show last night, and we had some good information. Stuff we talked about as far as some of the stuff that's been going on. With Holden and all that good stuff as well. So, make sure you get a chance to check that out. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, either one you prefer on there. And also, if you haven't yet, like, subscribe to that. And also like and subscribe to the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. We got a hell of a lot of followers now on the Nazareth 360 Network. Last I saw, we were looking at almost hitting 730 subscribers. So if you want to be one of those 730, make sure you like and subscribe to it. As we're getting back doubled up. Saw Brandon Broadfoot right there. Got the VR going as well. Holden McGill talking about, I believe he said something about, I think he might be running a VR. I think he said something about that. Well, that man right there, he doesn't. MDW. And this kid right here, we're going to have to be watching out for him, especially right here on this restart. He may give Ryan Johnson a run for his money. Diving into turn number 1, we'll see how it works out. Ryan Johnson on the inside, MDW outside, pace truck is off. And we'll see what happens as they go. Ryan Johnson gasses up, green flags in the air. MDW to his outside. He thought about trying to dive down. Tristan Bruce down to the inside. He's going to try to take back that second spot, but MDW trying to get the run off of turn 2. He will. Cuts right down in front of Tristan Bruce. And Tristan Bruce almost tagged him, and they almost make contact. Coming off of turn 4, Johnson all by himself, but Bruce still on the inside.
Yeah, Tristan's putting his nose in at the moment, locks up a little bit for the number 3, and luckily keeps it out of the barrier and out of the other cars. And so that's a little bit of pressure relieved there from MDW, but now Tristan has got to think about more Adam Newton and Jeff Merck. It's not easy to overtake around here, as you just plainly see there, Jacob.
Absolutely. I mean, it is very, very hard. Now Tristan Bruce is going to actually be in a world of hurt. He's going to have Adam Newton and Jeff Merck to his tailgate. So Bruce is going to have to get it up on the, or he's got to get up on the wheel, find the loud pedal, and get going. Meanwhile, right in front of him, MDW putting pressure on Ryan Johnson. Wood tries to dive it down to the inside, shows the nose, but Ryan Johnson will have none of it. He'll hold on to that lead. Wood right behind him, trying to get up there, get him a stage 1 win. Remember, that is at lap 75. So Wood trying to get him a stage win, tack on some extra points, because remember, Dean, we got this race right here at Martinsville. We got next week at Daytona, and then we're going to be playoff racing.
And 78 degrees on the cloudy, with a chance of no meatballs. 96-degree humidity. That'd be absolutely humid right now. I believe that's not going to be actually that correct there. With just looking at 9 miles per hour, shouldn't really affect it. This is built around a grandstand, essentially. It's a Coliseum, so I don't think they're going to allow too much air into the track here. At the moment, the only air that anybody's getting is Ryan Johnson in the lead of this race, getting the fresh air. But soon, if we get some green flag racing there, Jacob, they will catch lap trucks.
And right now, actually, also they have the dash for cash right now with those 4 drivers from finishing 1, 2, 3, 4 last week at Michigan. If you're looking at it right now, out of all that, MDW, who barely snuck in and got that 4th spot last week, he is actually leading these guys right now for that dash for cash. You got Wood. Technically, he's leading out all of them. The one right behind him is Tristan Bruce. And then Jeff Merck is in that 3rd spot with Holden McGill right now sitting 4th as far as the dash for cash goes. So that's something we're going to have to be watching out for here tonight. But, I mean, big battle right here for this lead. Wood and Johnson starting to separate themselves from the field. Bruce starting to stack back a little bit. He's actually stacking up Newton and Merck. They're trying to find a way around him. But Wood wearing out Tiny Horse's tailgate right now very early on here in the 213 Sim Racing or Simware.com 250.
And it seems to be a popular choice of some of the drivers actually using VR. I'm seeing 2 drivers currently at the moment that we have cams that have the VR. Of course, Ryan Johnson is one of them. We've got Brandon Broadfoot. That's a little bit further back there in the P21 position. Chris Blanchard, of course, has the motion racing rig we've seen before. We'll have some pictures on him. Joshua Suss is the desk-mounted steering wheel, as well as MDW does. And Raul Meza, of course, has the top-down camera too. But yeah, look at that. Pressure. But doesn't seem to be... Look at that. Cool, smooth operator of Ryan Johnson there. Doesn't look too much under pressure there from MDW.
No, not really. I mean, everything looking pretty good right now as of yet. And Ryan Johnson still trying to hold on to what he's got up here at the front.
It's MDW.
It's looking pretty good right now from Ryan Johnson. MDW is still trying to hold on to what he's got right now. Just trying to, Dean, he's driving in there as hard as he possibly can. And he's just trying to see if he can make it stick, trying to put pressure on Johnson. But Johnson's just not giving it up.
Yeah, look at the steering. Look at the steering. As you get close, you get kind of sucked into the car, and you get caught off guard because you scrub a little bit of speed. Ryan Johnson will, and MDW, of course, doing everything in his power to avoid not coming together and not turning the number 38 machine. Easier said than done, isn't it? It's very difficult. But the thing is, he doesn't have to worry too much about behind him because look at the gap, that 1.5 seconds to Tristan Bruce.
Yeah, they're absolutely just straight up leaving him right now, and Johnson probably... wants to keep this lead. Granted, they are catching lap traffic right now, Dean. That lap traffic truck actually being Huck Wigginton in the 00 right now. So Johnson is starting to reel him in. That could play a factor right here with MDW. But Dean, I will say this, and I'm probably going to end up jinxing them. And if I do, I'm sorry, and I'll take the blame for it. But so far, even though there has been 2 cautions here in this race, this has been a very, very clean race, very different from what we have seen in the past here at Martinsville, here with Nazareth, and everybody at home has got to be loving this right here.
Oh, yeah, I agree. Once we get green flag racing, once everybody's got the temperature and the tyres and all that sort of stuff, and they got the groove of the circuit and these conditions, they're doing fine. And let's touch wood that we're not messing with it. We're just keeping an eye on Huck Wigginton, because Wigginton will be under the pressure from our race leaders soon, but he's doing some pretty good pace. There, you could just see Ryan Johnson now. So this is about it's hard to overtake around here, of course, and then whatever you're a lap truck, you've got to somehow try to find a get out of the way, don't you, for the race leaders. Try not to hold them up too much, and the race leaders, look at that. Look at the gaggle of cars further up the road they're going to have to start dealing with soon.
Yeah, there's a couple of them up there that they're going to have to be dealing with. Honestly, once they get to Huck Wigginton, then you got Raul Meza, you got Chris Blanchard, you got Ed Osborne, Eric Zimmerman, all these guys that's back here on the tail end of the lead lap. And Huck Wigginton will pull out of the way, let the leaders go. And then that's when it's going to get interesting right here, Dean, because Huck's going to pull out of the way. He's going to let these guys go. But then once they start to get to Raul Meza, Chris Blanchard, Ed Osborne, that's where you're going to see these guys really start to race a little bit harder, because they know that they are going to be in that situation where they may end up going one lap down. And, Dean, it will be a pain in the tail to be able to try to get back on that lead lap unless a bunch of cautions start playing out, which can happen. But these guys going to be racing a little bit harder up here. There you see Raul Meza. He ain't on the phone this week, Dean. You don't need to be on your phone here. You need to have 2 hands on the wheel and driving the hell out of it. And that's what he's doing up there on that top side tried to make it work up here the best that he can. Matt Cherry actually being 1 lap down, but he would not get the lucky dog. If the caution would have come out, it'd be Huck Wigginton. But there you see Meza obviously got a lap car separating him and Ed Osborne. He really wants to be able to try to find a way, get around him, and get some more spots.
Yeah, we caught him out last week, didn't he? Driving and texting and driving as well, too. So that's a no-no. Of course, you won't have a chance to do that around here. Of course, in some of the super speedways, you get a chance to do that. But not here, mate. You're going to have eyes in the back of your head, in the front of your head, the side of your head, everywhere. Because anything can happen around you, of course, and you don't want to be involved in this wrecks. And these drivers at the moment, Ryan Johnson, MDW, with that gap they have, they know that these drivers are fighting here. They're still fighting for their positions, of course, from back at P26, 27 and so forth. But, they don't want to get too much tangled in this. But the problem is they're coming up to cars now that are overtaking each other. So where do you go? There's not much room for 3 cars around here, is there, Jacob?
No, I mean, there's really not. I mean, and obviously you want to try to keep it right there on the bottom. And, if you're running a single truck line, you can run a different line. You can dive in, go to the bottom. You can run like MDW is a little bit right behind him. He's not going all the way down to the bottom. He'll enter right there about the middle part and then just kind of ease it down. But this is where it's going to get interesting. You see Blanchard right here in front of Johnson. Now it's going to get interesting. Johnson's going to look to the high side. Blanchard ain't going to let him go right here. They're going to have to take it on the top side. So Johnson up on the top, Blanchard on the bottom. Blanchard may end up giving way, and yes, he will. He'll let MDW go as well. But now that's going to put Blanchard in that situation. Now he's going to get the lucky dog if a caution comes out. It's going to screw Huck Wigginton big time right here. He's riding back there with everybody else going around him as well. Now Blanchard's got to hope that Johnson does not get to Raul Meza. If he gets to Raul Meza and he goes around him, then Blanchard's going to be in a hole. So a lot of guys watching right here is now MDW thinking different, gets into the fence off 4, driving the hell out of it on that outside. Now Johnson goes to the outside. These are lap guys. These guys is going around, and they're not giving an inch right here, Dean.
This is what you love about green flag racing. Absolutely, here in Martinsville, you've got to deal with traffic. It's just like the traffic on the freeway trying to come in here to a jam-packed, sold-out race event weekend. And these drivers are feeling the traffic right now on it. And this is concentration levels. This is no longer you just at the front there, just yourself versus the time delta. He's also got to take into consideration MDW is going to send one up the inside here, Jacob.
Woo! Battle for the lead going on here on lap 50, and caution is out. Damn, we did not want to see the caution, Dean.
No.
We did not want to see that. That was going to get absolutely good right there with that battle with MDW and Ryan Johnson. I think it actually happened up here a little bit ahead of them. You see Cody Knott right here, him and Brian Chew. And Cody Knott will end up going around. See kind of what happened. See if he kind of got tagged right here.
No.
Nope, left it right there on his own. Tailgate, I mean, literally back end just comes around. And I think that's just a product of locking the brakes up right there, coming in the corner. And the back end just steps out right there, Dean. And, I mean, you just basically, you're along for the ride. I mean, it's like you're hitting ice up in the North Georgia mountains. That's exactly what it feels like when you hit the brakes and the back end steps out. That's exactly what it is.
Oh, well, you've explained it. Thank you very much. Let's ride on board with Cody. Of course, the boss man, one of the key components here, and you can just see at the moment it's just lifted off a little bit, as you said. You explained it exactly. And thankfully what he's done, he's actually reversed back a little bit, knowing he's completely all the drivers on the inside apron. And good job for Cody, and good job for the other drivers avoiding a collision, so that Cody didn't even wreck his race, really. He just dropped a couple places and didn't wreck anybody else's race. So good on you, Cody. There's a positive spin from a negative, two positives equal to a negative, 2 negatives equal to positive, something like that, if you do your science on that.
It's a positive. It's a positive outcome of a negative
situation.
Situation. Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
we got through that.
That's the best way. Yeah, we got it figured out one way or another right there. Raul Meza is going to get that lucky dog. Chris Blanchard, he's going to be at tail end right there, so he's not going to get that lucky dog. He did not want to see that, and actually Blanchard will go ahead and elect to take it down pit road, get him 4 fresh tires. He knows he's got to go to the back anyway, so why not go ahead, get you 4 freshies, and be able to send it back up there. So we'll see how that works out. Check out Blanchard right there, virtual cam.
He's got a virtual table, too. Look at that. Big table there. He's got a couple of drinks on there. Not quite sure what Chris has got on there. You can see he's got the manual gear shift, so He's parking
Where's the whiskey
there.
at?
Yeah, where's the whiskey?
Where's the
There,
whiskey?
Chris?
Yeah, we need the
Blanchard's
whiskey
Towing
on
and
that
Recovery whiskey. I would like that.
Yes.
Yeah, let's get
Yes,
that
I would be
organised,
all
Chris.
for that. Yeah, we may have to mix it a little bit. We mix it with a little bit of Coca-Cola or something like that. I mean, we got to do it that way, I mean, that's Jack Daniels and Coke. I mean, that or that's how we do it. Anyway,
Blanchard's and Coke.
at least around here. So Blanchard's and Coke. Yeah. We'll go with that and see how that ends up working out. But I'll say this, Ryan Johnson's got to be really happy that caution came out when it did, because Wood was fixing to bypass him and he was fixing to take the lead right there.
Yeah.
Now Johnson probably was going to be, now maybe he could get the run off of the corner coming off of it, but as far as the timing loops that iRacing had at all that, Johnson was ahead at that timing loop, so it kind of saved him right there. And obviously he will take the inside lane, which is where he's been restarting every single time. That's going to get interested, obviously, with Tristan Bruce right behind him now. Now Adam Newton, Jeff Merck, these guys that were lagging back, almost about a second and a half back from when the caution come out, now they have got themselves back up into this. Was they saving tire? We'll find out right here on this restart as the pace truck is off, back into the Geico restart zone. Both of them in that second row, Bruce and Newton tried to jump it, and they missed out on it. Now Newton all by himself up on the top side. MDW able to jump down on that inside. Bruce, Newton, they're going to battle for third. Mark was able to get clear and jump down and take that fence spot as we got a slider in the back.
Steven.
Not real sure.
Ooh.
Steven, I believe it was one of them back there, ends up getting tagged and getting sent around, and we got another damn parking lot over here in turn 3 and 4.
Oh, no. We have
Emotional damage.
There you go. We got
Got
some
a lot
sound
of
effects.
emotional damage right here. A lot of it right here. Painter,
Where did it
Gregory,
start?
they go
Painter,
around.
didn't it? I think they're Jacob.
Yeah, it was Gregory right here. He was right behind McGill and Merck. You see Gregory right there in the blue, baby blue and black number 61.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Painter just kind of dives in right here, doesn't get on the brakes hard enough. He gets into Gregory. Then Jurassic's got nowhere to go. You see Brandon Schumann right there. He kind of gets a little taste of it, I guess you could say. Thomas, he said screw it. He went all the way up and almost hit the damn fence to try to get around it. Chew done the same exact thing. And, obviously Isaac Bevan was right behind that as well. He was able to mess around it. Got the 25. James Beard gets involved. Matt Cherry, who's already one lap down, way back there in dead last, he's getting involved in this. Joshua Rodriguez involved. Huck Wigginton back there as well. And Chris Blanchard may get lucky right here. He may get lucky out of all this, which is exactly what I think is going to happen right here. Chris Blanchard, yes, he will get that lucky dog and get waved back around. You see Jose Luis Rivera in that 20 going down pit road right here. He's about the only one, I think, going down right here.
There's your wave around. Just got it. Just past the pace car. So, yee-hee. Here we are. Yeehaw! Here he gets back onto the lead lap, but that's perfect for that. You don't want to be falling too many laps down on this, do you? But then again, with the amount of cautions, perhaps when drivers take a pit stop, and no drivers have yet to make a pit stop, because they're probably waiting for that stage break, as you'd mentioned, isn't it? And considering that stage break coming up very soon too, Jacob, because to do 15 laps around here doesn't take too long as we go green.
Yeah, as long as we go green, I mean, that's the main thing. But honestly, Dean, it could be about that stage break. But I think a lot of it may have to do with just because of the track position here at Martinsville. I mean, you want to be able, that tires is going to be a premium. It will be somewhat of a premium. Gas, nah, you ain't really worried about that. I mean, as long as you pit around, say, lap 100, you'll be able to make it all the way to the end. No problem at all. The big thing about it all is, granted, like I said, yes, tires, but track position will be the name of the game here tonight. You want to try to be able to get up as close to the front as you possibly can, and try to stay out as long as you can, at least till that lap 100. When that lap 100 hits, go ahead. You get a caution, go ahead, go pit, and then you're good all the way to the end. And to be honest with you, Dean, if we was to have a late race caution, I wouldn't see any of the guys up front wanting to go down pit road, because if they do, a bunch of guys behind them might try to jump them, and then you're going to screw yourself on the track position. So I think that's going to be the name of the game. It's 2 words, track position. That's going to be the name of the game here tonight at Martinsville. They're doubling back up, getting ready for a restart. Ryan Johnson still got the lead. He's been on the pole all the way through it. He's been up front, and ain't nobody really got around him yet. MDW was the closest one to get around him. He's going to be to his outside. Tristan Bruce, Adam Newton, Jeff Merck, still the top 5, exactly where they started this race. Green flag in the air. Johnson gasses up. Now Bruce going to dive down to the inside. He's going to try to look and be able to get up here and try to get a hold of Ryan Johnson. They're going to be side by side. Wood's going to lift. Wood's going to get in behind Tristan Bruce. And now they're going to be single file for that. Right behind them, you got Brandon Schumann up here. The first side-by-side battle. Brandon Schumann in the 52. Jordan Jurassic battling it out for that 8th spot.
Oh, setting it up the inside. And can he make that number 6? That's Jordan Jurassic. And, of course, that's Brent on the outside. Jordan Jurassic holding the inside line. So they're going to find your way around, my friend. You got to do it. Look at that. Had to lift off big time. So Brandon Schumann, unfortunately, is going to drop like the 929 stock exchange. We heard that last night, didn't we, there, Jacob? And he's still in it. Oh, and good. Loosey-goosey. That's the 47 of Isaac Bevan. That may be a caution. Yes, it will.
Isaac Bevan goes around at the expense of another driver, and I believe that was Joshua Sustin, 80, and yes, it was. Sust overdrives it big time, nails him straight in the tailgate, sends him up the track. Indeed, I got a feeling this is not going to be the only time I'm going to say this tonight. I got a feeling we got some beef out here because check this out. Joshua Sustin, the 80, right here behind Bevan. Ooh. You see, Chew kind of checks up a little bit, sees the whole deal with Schumann up there. And I guess Sus wasn't able to grasp it hard enough and actually see because, you know, Dean, if we can go back and watch from the end car of Joshua Sus,
yes, sir,
you'll kind of see where I'm going with this right here. Because it is a pain in the tail when you're behind these guys. You can't see what's going on right here. Right there. You can't see you can't see Brian Chew. He had no idea that Chew was going to check up as hard as he was right there.
Yeah.
And Sus just tried to drive in like normal, thinking Bevan's going to drive in like normal. And unfortunately, Chew checks up a tick. Bevan tries to check up. Sus can't see it. Sus drives right into the back of Bevan.
You called it, and here it is at the moment. Race control is going to be so busy. We haven't even heard any messages at the moment. We had check messages at the start there from TJ Moore, but he's got a lot to look at because we're on our third. There it is. Just so quickly, isn't it? Just check it up after race restarts. Cautions breed cautions, as they say, Jacob. And unfortunately for some of those drivers, Devin Painter, Joshua Rodriguez are going down. Isaac Bevan already went to pit road. Now we're having Jose Luis Rivera and James Beard also heading in, electing to seize this opportunity and caution to change those boots because it's a caution break coming up too, remember? So, you know, you never know. You never know if some drivers select to go to pit road and you've just undercut them. That could happen, Jacob. So.
Good possibility right here, Dean. I mean, honestly, it is a good possibility because we are less than 10 laps to that stage break. Now, remember, that stage 1 break, we will stay under green at lap 75 unless a caution comes out around that area. We'll get, confirmation from race control, hopefully, if it would be staged. But odds are, if it's about 3 laps from the stage, they'll just go ahead and call it. So we'll see how that ends up working out. Ryan Johnson, who's led, 67, 68 laps of the race and led every single one of them. Nobody's been able to get around him just yet, but now Tristan Bruce will be to his outside. MDW is going to be right behind him. And it's going to get interesting right here, Dean, because like I said, stage points, playoff points on the line right here at lap 75 and also later on in the race at 125. Coming to the playoffs, those playoff points, those stage points, all that, it's going to play a factor.
We'll go over that as well to the schedule. As we know, after this one, we've got Daytona and then the playoffs. And then the playoffs, of course, we know the drivers that are locked in. Dustin Scruggs is now locked in due to points. Dustin Scruggs, I don't see him out racing today, so he's okay. But that's the P next to it there, Jacob. So you're locked in by points. The rest of the drivers are locked in by race wins. So far, so good. But can you believe that Ryan Johnson hasn't had a race win?
Yeah, that one's going to be the tricky one right there for Ryan because, we've seen Ryan be very, very successful here in Nazareth. Matter of fact, a past Xfinity Series champion. So, it's kind of weird, but obviously trucks, but them trucks and Xfinity, obviously they drive a little bit different. We'll see if he can hold it out right here and get him a stage 1 win. Green flag in the air. Bruce to the outside. He's not going to give an inch now. He ain't worried about trying to slide back and maybe get him behind him. Obviously now Johnson gets clear. Bruce drives in, almost tags him in the tailgate. Now Wood all over his tailgate. Newton right behind him up on the outside. Merck trying to roll with him as well. And now Newton gets up into the fence. Merck's going to try to stick his nose where maybe he shouldn't stick it. And now he's going to dive in there. There's MDW. Merck almost gets into Newton off too.
Yeah, Merck is going to be seen. Well, let's see the facial expressions of Merck. Put the concentration on as Merck's on the outside. He's going to have the momentum coming out of the corner, and it's going to put some huge pressure on the 19 machine of Adam Newton. These two are old school, aren't they? Nazra duelers, and both of them have actually race winners, and I'm not quite sure about championships as well too, but certainly fired up here in Martinsville.
Yes, sir. Jeff Merck, a champion 2 seasons ago here on the Friday night series for the concerns of the police. As soon as we talk about Merck, you can see the facial expression. Back in, steps out. Merck is going to lose numerous spots. Was up there racing with Adam Newton for that 4th spot. He's going to slip all the way back here to where Stephen Thomas is. Merck may end up screwing himself out of some stage points as we are with 2 laps to go until the end of stage number 1. Johnson still has the lead. Bruce and Wood right behind him. But Merck almost ended up losing all the stage points that he could have got right there. He's going to lose a bunch, but if he can hold on, he's going to get him some stage points anyway. White flag here for stage number 1. Johnson up front. Bruce right behind him. Wood trying to get him one and maybe get him some extra stage points if possible. Looks to the inside, nothing there but up front. Ryan Johnson, Tiny Horse. He's a threat here tonight. Started on the pole and he's led all 75 laps. He will win stage number 1. Bruce, Wood, Newton, Bradley, the top 5. McGill, Jurassic, Merck, Thomas, and Brandon Schumann will receive stage points as we continue under green by virtue of the race details.
There you have it. I've been I completely forgot about doing highlights for the highlight reel later on as well too, that I've got prepared as a little sneak preview. Well, perhaps we'll get it ready for the next race as well too, because I missed half of the action already. I missed 70 laps there for the highlight reel, Jacob.
A sneak preview?
Yeah, it was going to be a highlight reel that we play at the end of the race. That's everything that's occurred during the race that you can watch in a quick 5-minute highlight reel.
It was going to be sneaky, but he just let the cat out of the bag, I guess.
So well, it's okay. It's people paying attention out there. So,
oh, Lord.
Can anybody catch Ryan Johnson? The thing is, at the moment, because we don't have stage breaks, we can't pull him in, even though Ryan Johnson probably be happy to have a chat to us during the whilst he's racing, but not in this track, mate. It's just too much concentration.
Absolutely, and he's actually starting to break away right now from Tristan Bruce's. Wood was actually right behind Bruce. Actually slid up and got up into the turn 4 wall that last time around, but they're going to stay single file. They're starting to actually kind of gap themselves almost a second from Adam Newton, who's got Keith Bradley up here, started 9th. He's up here in the 5th spot. And then McGill right behind them, the biggest mover of the field, which I knew, Dean, it was going to happen sooner or later. But he's going to have some biggest movers in the field. And the biggest one, there you see him, the 23, Scoot. Stephen Thomas started 30th in the field here tonight, damn near dead last. Now he's sitting up here in the 9th spot right behind Jeff Merck, so he got him some stage points. With Brandon Schumann actually started 7th, gets 10th. The next biggest mover is the pink animal of Goat Locker, Keith Haney, started 29th. He is up here in the 13th spot, but look at this gaggle of trucks back here. The 25, James Beard back here. This is the battle for 20th, folks. And I'm not making that up. This is the battle for 20th. Broadfoot back here. He's going to get a shot in the pants. Beard gets into the back of him, and Beard actually ends up screwing himself out of that because Broadfoot might have got that shove. It's going to help him out and get side by side with Devin Painter right here.
Here comes Bradford. You can actually see the concentration on his VR headset at the moment. He's actually just lifted off completely his steering wheel. He's that comfortable on the mini straightaways that we have here, Jacob, that he's like, all right, bring it on there. Of course, behind him, he has Raul Mesa, who's coming back, fighting back after dropping a couple places. James Beard as well. That's where you throw your blanket over the hot zone currently in a moment. Back here, still, MDW and Tristan Bruce are battling it out. Ryan Johnson with about almost a second gap.
And, and honestly, Dan, I'm looking through the field. That is the hot spot right there because nobody else is really side by side. I mean, you're seeing the battle back here where Painter and all these guys is. Granted, this is the battle for the 18th spot. A little door banging for Devin Painter and Dylan Cardenas. right there. And Painter actually kind of trying to break in the rookie here, I guess you could say, because Cardenas, his very first start last week at Michigan, and Painter knows about the whole door banging kind of deal, so he's trying to initiate him, I guess you can say, Dean. I mean, that's what he's trying to do. Give him a little door banging. Let him know how we do it here at Nazareth.
Yeah, that's exactly what you do it. Especially you got to do door banging to get around here and get the overtakes done. So good on you, Dylan. And Dylan is down a couple of places, but hey, it's not how you finish. You start Martinsville, it's how you finish it. And the 99, of course, he's got to deal with of Devon Painter. And that's going to be a good little scrabble of drivers around here. This is once again the hot zone, and those fences, don't you go there. You might need some insurance, wouldn't you, if you hit the Geico restart zone too hard.
Yeah, it looked like Bullock actually kind of just maybe pulled up right there and just let both of them go, thinking that they're a little bit faster right here at this point, to just go ahead, pull out of the way, let them go, and live to fight another day. Because we still got a long way to go, Dean. I mean, we're just now creeping up on halfway, and be honest with you, this race is going quick right here, Dean. You know, for 200 laps here at Martinsville, this sucker is going very, very quick from what it has in the past. And honestly, you know, it's a testament to the clean racing that we've seen so far here tonight at Martinsville. And, you know, so far, I mean, you know, I usually do like a driver's poll in the driver chat with the drivers and kind of get their opinion. Was this a good race? Was this a good race? I got a feeling this keeps on like it is right here. I got a feeling it's going to be unanimous, because I thought it was going to be maybe unanimous no, because like I said, typically this place, it does not have good races. It's having a hell of a race right here with Bruce going around the outside of Wood. They're going around Hunt Wayington, who is 2 laps down now at this point. But I'm telling you, Dane, so far, it's looking to be a very, very good race right here.
I think you're right, actually. Yeah, sometimes this can turn into a big lockup. There's a spin. Oh, I have to avoid him. And certainly does. We have a caution on the Speedway. Wow, how's that to MDW? You can actually see expression of MDW going, woo! That was close.
Yeah, that was Eric Zimmerman. Zimmerman actually locks the brakes up. We had someone up here. That was Jose Luis Rivera ahead of him. But you'll see Zimmerman right here. He's going to lock the brakes up, but right in front of him, it was Jose Luis Rivera that locks the brakes up as well, and that's what causes Zimmerman maybe to step on the brakes just a little bit there. You see Rivera right there on the apron, and then Zimmerman just locks it up right here, and then he knows everybody's coming right behind him. You see Rivera right here. This may be why Zimmerman kind of locks the brakes up. Rivera driving in right behind Joshua Rodriguez in the 4. Maybe a little bit of a love tap in the tailgate right there. Rivera maybe drives it in a little bit too deep, gets on the apron, and then there you saw Zimmerman back there seeing all that. He locks it up, and he knocks it sideways just a little bit as well. As we see everybody down a pit road right here, Dean. This could be the money stop right here. They should be able to make it all the way to the end right here.
It'd be blinking too, because I can't get my internet connection any quicker to the iRacing service. But thankfully, only during the pit stops is going to do it. So it looks like Ryan Johnson may have got out ahead of everybody else. Let's hope he has. Well, for his sake, of course, because he's been doing the effort of leading this one. And I think so as well, too. Some of the drivers have come in. Devon Painter had stayed... Well, they're out on legitimate track position because they boxed, as I like to say, back on lap 65, lap 66 for Jay Beard, and then Ryan Johnson come out on those fresh boots. So you know that these other drivers at the moment are going to be almost sitting targets. Tristan Bruce did get out ahead of MDW, and then Adam Newton and Holden McGill, my friend. So it gives us an opportunity, whilst we could talk about, of course, to thank one of our sponsors side by side in our pitches too, and that will be our Premier Racing setups. So Jacob, and you know all about those Premier Racing setups. They get you to go fast, whether it's road tracks, dirt tracks, Martinsville glorified, what would you saw, pavement dirt track?
Anything really. I mean, literally anything. Road courses. There you see it. E-NASCAR setups, dirt racing, road courses. However you want to look at it. Premier Racing Setups. You know where to go. PremierRacingSetups.com. Enter the code NAZRA. Get that 15% off your entire order. And also, if you want to race the setups, that the Redneck Announcer races, go check them out. PremierRacingSetups.com. While we have the opportunity, let's grab our Stage 1 winner, Ryan Johnson. Tiny Horse. Ryan, buddy, starting from the pole, I mean, this has been a good race right here. I mean, how's the truck feeling out there?
Well, to simplify it, one lap it feels tight, one lap it feels loose. It's it's kind of back and forth.
kind of back and forth. But, Ryan, we'll say this real quick as y'all are doubling up going to green. Do you think that this race right here has been a little bit better than what we've had previously in Nazareth? Because it seems like this race is a hell of a lot cleaner.
Yeah, for the most part, it seemed a lot cleaner, but we got a long way to go still.
Hopefully we didn't jinx it right there, Ryan. Appreciate your time. Good luck.
Thank you, guys.
I think we jinxed
send him back to
my
it.
connection going a little bit pearl shaped
Oh,
as well
no.
too, Jacob. I know. All right, come
Well,
on.
I can't say nothing. I've done it before, so I've done it on my end earlier. Apparently, I sounded like a robot and was completely out of Martinsville, Virginia. Great flag! Beard gets on the gas, absolutely loses it, has some rear wheel tire spin, and Tristan Bruce gets into the back of him, tags him, knocks him up the racetrack. Hayter holding on to the lead, but Johnson trying to work it up on the top side as we got contact back here. McGill, Newton goes around on the racetrack coming off a turn 4, and we got another damn parking lot back here. It's McGill, Newton back here, as well as Raul Meza, all of them getting involved.
And another caution, and we're going to need a break on that one and try to fix what's going on here as everything's trying to catch up to the iRacing server, Jacob. So
absolutely. Well, let's take us a quick commercial break. We'll bring you right back. Hopefully, we maybe can give you a replay of exactly what happened. You're watching the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series live on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network.
Starbase 1552 Comics. We sell everything a collector would want. Comics, Funkos, action figures, and so many more. A real American comic book shop. We are online only. Starbase 1552 Comics. Find us on eBay Auctions.
Are you ready?
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
And folks, we're back here at Martinsville. Up here with Devin Painter. Ryan Johnson is going to be up here on the front row. Not real sure. I don't believe that we can give you a replay of exactly what happened, but we'll give you an idea of kind of what happened. It was a little bit of aggressive driving, I guess you could say, back there. Newton ends up going around. He got tagged in the tailgate by Holden McGill, and then McGill ends up going around out of all of it, and then they end up collecting Raul Meza out of the whole deal as well. So, a lot of chaos that happened right there off of turn number 4. We'll see how this ends up working out. As Devin Painter up there on those old tires right here, Dean. He's got it up here. He's trying to keep it up here, but Ryan Johnson on freshies on that outside. He's going to be up on the top side. Painter down on the bottom side. Wood thinking 3 wide, looks 3 wide, thinks different. He'll fall right back in line. Now Johnson up top, getting help from Bruce. Johnson on freshies. He's going to clear Painter. Bruce trying to clear Painter. Dives it in deep. tries to jump down in front of Painter. He's going to get there. Now Wood up on top of Painter. Everybody trying to bypass Devin Painter on old tires.
Yeah, they realise at the moment he hasn't got the grip, does he? A caution on the Speedway. So Devin Painter gets to live to see another day because it's going to get dropping all over the place. James Beard, big pile up here. Looks like Eric Zitterman's gone around here. We have Kyle Hess, Brian Chu, Ed Osborne, and I think a couple other suspects, unfortunately, for a 104 lap incident.
I think the EOL fines is going to start to creep up now, Dean. I got a good feeling right here. James Beard coming off of 2 right here. See Brian Chu right there to the outside. A little contact made. Chu comes up. I mean, Chu's got nowhere to go. Beard just keeps coming up. And then after that, it turns into a parking lot. Chu ends up going around. Kyle Hess has got to lock the brakes down. Almost ends up running into Beard. But, I mean, I got to put that one right there on Beard. Because Beard does come up. Now, granted, Brian Chu was on, I mean, he was tied on his door. But you got to have some kind of awareness right there out of that, Dean, to know that somebody's up on the outside. But, you know, I mean, honestly, you know, that may end up just being a racing deal. Because it is kind of tight trying to get off of these corners, especially when you're on the inside and you got somebody that close down on your door. So that may end up being a racing deal right there, which is different, I guess you could say, from a 1.5 miles where guys try to clear themselves up. Didn't look like James was actually trying to do that. It looked like he was just trying to keep it on the bottom, maybe throttled up a little too much, and Chu was just so damn close on his door. Maybe a little net code might have affected it as well. And there you see the 25 go around. Then Chu ends up getting a pretty bad end of it as well. And then poor old Kyle Hess back there with Ed Osborne, hell, they just parked it. They just said, screw it. We'll just sit there and wait till they move, which, you know, I will say this about that with Kyle Hess and all those guys. Drivers love that. I will say this. Drivers love that because we don't end up getting ARCA braked and get set straight into it. If you get that opportunity and you just got to park it like that right there, that's the smartest thing to do when they're in that particular situation.
James Speed, what are you doing? What's he doing there, Jacob, for a second? He just he had to park it right there, Dean. He had to because the field was already coming around and the pits was going to be closed. Right.
And so if he would have gassed up, he would have still had to let those drivers go. He come out a little bit late, and if you're not able to bait the pace car out, then you have to stop right there at the exit of pit road. And he will go 1 lap down. But, you know, if you can't beat them all, I mean, if you can't beat the pace car out, then you got to park it and let everybody else go. So that's basically what he was doing right there in that instance, having to stop and wait on the whole field to end up going back by.
As Brandon Brentford's waiting at the moment. So would he get some repairs on that truck or something? 1 minute and change? Yes, it would be. As he's got it patiently set, and now he's on the gas pedal, and he is... no, he's not. He wasn't leaving. He's still in there, pit road. You can see live pictures from him, Brandon, in his VR headset. So I think our pictures are better now. Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you. Sorry to cut you off, but yeah, I mean, Broadfoot actually 3 laps down right now. So he may have a little bit of extra damage that we're not aware of. I'm not really seeing it, actually. He's got a black flag. So apparently he's trying to serve that. So race control might have actually give him a black flag, and they had to jump down, get that took care of. We'll see what happens here. Ryan Johnson, Tristan Bruce. Bruce was on the inside when that caution come out. He was trying to go for the lead. Nobody has been able to challenge Ryan Johnson here tonight. Bruce tried to jump the start. Wasn't able to do it. It's going to work out for Johnson. He's going to get clear. Now Wood dives to the inside. He's going to get clear. Devin Painter right behind him. Big contact. Jeff Merck almost ends up losing it off of the left rear of Devin Painter. But now Merck dives it down the inside. He's on those fresh tires. He's going to try to follow his old teammate, Keith Bradley, and he's going to roll up here and get P5.
Jeff Merck, some serious pace there from the Merckster getting the job done. And when Merck's got pace, Merck is just blisteringly quick, isn't it? But Merck wants to be up there with MDW and Ryan Johnson. He doesn't want to be squabbling around here in these places. He was before there, but super had to save that car, didn't he, before it turned into a big wreck for Merck. So let's see another day. And Merck's currently at the moment in the 60 machine. Back where he started the race, P5.
Absolutely, that's exactly where he is at, right behind, like I said, his old teammate from Up Front Motorsports. Merck still with Up Front, but obviously Keith Bradley back over with Blue Line Racing, over with Huck Wigginton and Adam Newton, Devin Painter, Joshua Sust, all those guys is over there with Blue Line Racing and MDW, trying to make a challenge to the inside. MDW trying to go for the lead. The only laps that Ryan Johnson has not led tonight has been when Devin Painter and, basically stayed out and got up there and led some laps. When him and James Beard stayed out or at that stage. That's the only time that Johnson hadn't led. But now everybody trying to take a shot at him as we got a caution back here in the back coming off of turn number 2. Not sure where it is, Dane. Hopefully, maybe you can figure it out for us because I have no idea on this one.
Might have been Adam Newton and Brian Chu, unfortunately, just as we're getting to see that battle heat up at the moment. Let's have a look. We're going to be looking at the sky camera there. Look at the 19 car there. No, that's just lifted off. The accident's further up, isn't it? For sure. And who was that around? That's the 60. Is that the 61 Stephen Gregory? Yes, it is. Let's back that up there, Jacob, and let's have a look. Wow! Did you see how many cars avoided him?
Wow!
We'll sit. I mean, he was in the middle of the track. We're talking full speed here. Of course, the replay I'm going to show you at full speed. So it looks like he might have just lost it on his own 61. Not here on the straightaway, but entering into the corner. Yep, there it is. The rear end starts to go out.
Yeah, end just steps out. Painter almost ends up getting wrecked.
Look at this.
Yeah.
How's this for avoidance? How is this for avoidance? Everybody else around.
Oh.
Thankfully, of course, they were breaking into a corner, lifting, of course, into a corner, and wow, there you go. I think drivers at the back are more cautious, aren't you, Jacob? Because you realise, hey, there is an incident on the road. I'm sure, but everybody's probably sometimes in the chat going, crash, 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 or caution, caution, caution. So people start lifting off a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, most of the time, everybody back there in the back kind of knows what's going on, because you can see a whole lot more of what's up in front of you, Dean. You can see, smoke. You can see guys checking up, guys going high, guys going low, guys maybe trying to go right through the middle if somebody's up top or on the bottom or whatever. So you got a wider field of view, I guess you could say, when you see when you're back there in the back, because you literally see everything that's going on. So that helps you out. If there is some kind of crash or something that's going on up there at the front, so you're able to see everything that's going on. Ryan Johnson, talked about him all night, and like I said, Dean, the only time he hadn't led was when Devin Painter and James Beard stayed out. That's the only time that Ryan Johnson has not led. Other than that, he has led the whole race. And that's just a testament to track position, him being the fastest car. Granted, he was about a tenth faster than MDW, Tristan Bruce, who started second to his outside. But still, that track position, being able to have that inside lane on these restarts up there at the front, that's got a lot to do with why that number 38 is currently sitting up there at the front and has stayed up front all race long.
Absolutely correct. Everybody tuning in at the moment, thank you very much for all tuning in, 25 or so. As Demi Bruce has come in for a bit of a chat there. Sure, she's backing Tristan Bruce there, the number 3 machine currently running in a number 3rd position. This is a thing, isn't it, with what's been happening with these cautions coming every 10 or so laps that we're having. It's just that it's not helping the likes of MDW and Tristan Bruce, because every single time they're trying to bring it to Ryan Johnson, they have to back off because of a caution. Let's see if anything can change this time around.
Let's see how it ends up working out. Johnson on the inside, Wood up top, Bruce, Bradley, Merck. That is the top 5. Jurassic, Thomas, Pater, Haiti, Brandon Schumann, and Joshua Suss. All of them up here trying to get them some. Green flag in the air. Johnson will gas up. He will get away once again, but no. Here comes Wood on the outside. Now he's trying to flex a little muscle here tonight at Martinsville with 80 laps to go. Wood looked like he was going to try to take it on the outside. Wood back in, stepping out. He's dancing, going through 3 and 4. Bruce holding it tight on his left rear as they work their way through 3 and 4. Now back to 1 and 2.
Oh!
Door bringing. Bruce gets sideways. Merck had to get out of the gas, almost ran him over, but door banging between MDW and T. Bruce. And now Merck going to try to see if he can capitalize on it.
Oh, they're going to hold on tight here at the moment. Make sure you allow enough room to push him into the fence. Jeff Merck and Tristan Bruce going for it tooth and nail. MDW the P2. Ryan Johnson looking good to win another stage break as well, too, which is approaching very, very rapidly there, Jacob.
Very, very rapidly right now, coming up at lap 125. It looks like Johnson will be able to possibly get it unless he gets into the fence a little bit there, or right there off of turn 4. Wood may be able to try to reel him in. Check out the battles going on back here. There's Stephen Thomas with Jordan Jurassic. Thomas goes way up the racetrack, almost loses the truck. Haney going to take another shot at him. But there you see Merck and Bruce. They're battling for that third spot. They got Bradley right behind them. They're trying to open up a little bit of a gap and try to get away from some of these other guys. That way maybe they can race it out for themselves. So let's see what happens right here as we're seeing more out there in the chat. Sharon Bruce, don't let old Pookie get you, T. Bruce. So we'll see what happens right there. So Bruce, get on put it on the damn loud pedal. He's back there with you as caution is coming out. And I believe that will be the stage.
Yeah, Cody Knott's big wreck at the front of that truck. Look at it, 26 has seen better days here for one of the boss men here at Nazareth, and that's unfortunate. And we'll give a big smile on the face, of course, to Ryan Johnson, because that will take the stage break. Which is due around this one. And you're gonna, and we know that Jacob's gone down and look at the replay reel of Cody Knott. So let's do the same. And Jacob, what's happened here to poor Cody?
I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, folks, if you've got any small children at home, you do not want them to see this right here. You see Cody Knott right here, locks it up, and then hits the barrels. Matt Cherry right there, unfortunately, was right there as well with it. And, I mean, oh, no, you're not going to do it, Dean. Oh, no, not this.
Sorry, Cody.
This. Sorry, Cody. This is going to be bad right here, folks. Check it out. Gets on the brakes. Cardenas kind of coming down. Oh, man, hits the barrels. And then Cherry comes around on the outside. Wasn't expecting him to come up. And it's like I've said before, Dean, those barrels don't move. They do not move.
What about the head movement here?
Not one bit. Oh, Lord, I don't know. But hopefully we may have to get him up here in the broadcast booth to make sure that he's okay. Oh, wow.
Oh, Cody. Yeah, you might have to drag Cody up on here, and my friend, and see he's okay. Hopefully he is, because we need you, Cody.
He may end up being very, very mad right here if we bring Mr. Cody Knott up here in the booth. I don't know. I mean, well, he is one of our bosses. Let's see if we can't get fired right here, Dean. Let's see what happens right here. Cody Knott up here in the broadcast booth. Cody, first off, are you okay? Are you okay? Because that was a hell of a hit.
I ruined my race. I got 40 minutes of repairs. It is what it is. He took a line that would have, if I didn't basically do what I did, I would have just cleaned his clock and probably took both of us out. He doesn't believe that he would have, but unfortunately, that was a line that would have cut my nose, and no matter what, one of us would have been running into each other. And unfortunately, I tried to break it so I wouldn't get into him. And then just sent me in a power slide, and then it sent me into the barrels in the pit wall, and it looks like our race is done.
Ooh, can't see that, can't you?
Sounds to me like there might be some beef right there, Dean. Just a little bit right there. Possibly a little bit of beef right there. But Cody, we're happy that you're okay, because I've said it before with some of these wrecks that happens here on our racing. And believe it or not, people's actually got hurt. With the wheels snapping out of their hands, and they, maybe sprain the wrist, break the finger, or even break the wrist. So it's good to know that you are okay, because obviously, I mean, that was a hell of a hit. Even though it's sim racing, you can still get hurt with some of the contacts that there is. So, Cody, we just making sure that you was okay, buddy.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
And obviously, there is beef. So, Dean,
different ways to look at that, isn't it? But we're going racing again there, Jacob. So let's see if we can get some more green flag racing on the belts to the end now, because no more stage breaks.
No more stage breaks going all the way to lap 200. Ryan Johnson did win stage number 1 and 2. We'll see if he can keep it up there and see if he can go for the old sweep here tonight at Martinsville. Get him a virtual clock. Green flag in the air. Mert dives down. He's going to be able to get to the inside back there in 4th. Bruce Wood, they're going to door bang a little coming off of turn 2. Now, Bruce may think about trying to jump back and line up. He's going to think different of it. He's going to get down there on the inside. And now, here we go. Bruce Wood, side by side, dooring just a little bit more. Still some door banging right there between OT Bruce and MDW. And Mama Merck, Don Merck, out there. Where you at out there in the live chat? Your husband's up here going for a podium spot.
Yep, Merck's at it again. He's smelling blood in the water at the track at the moment in Martinsville, and he says, "Okay, here you go. You two young bloke, go for it." Merck's in town here, and Merck's going to be pushing it for everything he can. MDW goes a little bit closer to the fence. Still side by side, Trisha Bruce. Ryan Johnson's going, what's going on behind me? Well, you should see what Jeff Merck can see on his view at the moment. Wow, what a race.
I'll say this. I think Tiny Horse really doesn't give a damn what's going on behind. More contact. Bruce slides up. Wood gets him into the tailgate. Here comes Merck. Bradley going to try to dive down to the inside. He's going to see a hole and maybe try to follow his old teammate. Now Merck goes side by side with Wood. Bradley trying to follow him as well. But Bruce is clear, all clear. Now we'll see if he can run down Tiny Horses. Now more contact. Wood is getting used up here tonight. Straight up used up on his left side door, Dean. Oh, man, I'm telling you, he's getting heat up hotter than, he's getting heat up worse than a hot dog in a damn ballpark right now, son. He is just getting used up and eat up with these guys on the inside, just straight up doors and more.
How are they still going for it too? But no, you called it. That's hotter than a hot dog on a ballpark evening. And look at that, Stephen Thomas is into this. He's going, come on, gentlemen, get up the road here. Trisha Bruce and Ryan Johnson are about a second and change away from us. But it's very, very entertaining for us in the booth, and for you out there in the chat, I hope. Wow, Dawn Merck, shh, she says, Jacob, shh.
Yeah, she don't want to hear nothing like that because obviously I do put a curse on some of these guys sometimes and not even mean to do it. And I still get no hate mail out of it from some of these drivers. I guess they just brush it off out of that, or they end up wrecking me whenever they get a chance to see. Look at this right here. Look at this kid right here. Literally, literally going into turn one. Here, look.
Hey,
he's got his hand on the steering wheel, boy. One-handed at Martinsville. How is he doing this?
Well, whatever it is, he's got a bit of breathing space at the moment because Jeff Merck's battling it out with the animal Bradley. So, let's see. That's just the young ones, my friend. They're very capable, it seems, of being able to handle that. And I'm not sure if he's got force fed back on his steering wheel because that could throw that steering wheel around and hit a bump, or certainly if the fence comes out and bites you.
There is a possibility that maybe the force feedback is turned down a little bit because that's one of those things, Dean, where drivers, some of them may want to run with no, as we actually got a caution back here on the back. Joshua Sust in the 80. More on those adjustments I was going to talk about here in just a little bit. But,
Josh.
We got beef.
We got a little bit of beef right here. The pace car hit him. Hey, I got beat the pace car. Look at that. The pace truck just took Josh Suss out. Do you see that, Josh? Look at that. That's well, let's have a look what happened with Josh, unfortunately. That's the live picture of Josh in the window there, and I hate to show the drivers when they have a wreck, but it's also kind of entertaining sometimes too if you catch a little bit of it. But let's see what actually happened to cause Mr. Joshua to drop a couple of places now. Jacob?
Well, see, Dean, that right there, Dean, that's why I don't have a live cam on mine right there. There you see right there, Rodriguez gets into the back of Joshua Suss, spins him around, and he's parked right there on the inside of the racetrack. There was a little bit of contact up the road from him with Devin Painter. Devin Painter right there trying to drive in with Jordan Jurassic. Painter kind of drives it in right here, and the back end kind of steps out. He slides up the racetrack, and you'll see it right here.
Yeah.
There he goes. Back end kind of steps out right there with Painter, and maybe that was what Suss was seeing.
Yeah.
Maybe he was checking up thinking Painter was going to come back down the racetrack, and, that's one of them things, Dean. That's a driver's instinct when you see somebody. Well, let me rephrase that. Most drivers' instincts, when they go into the corner and they see somebody already at about a 45-degree angle sideways, their first reaction is to slow down, thinking that it's either going to catch, they're going to come down in front of everybody, or it's going to catch and they're going to go straight to the right. One way or another, it's going to catch, but they don't know which way they're going to go, left or right. So everybody else's first reaction is to try to check up. That's what Suss did. Rodriguez wasn't thinking about it, but maybe he was in the same situation from what we saw from earlier, with guys right behind one another and not being able to see what's going on in front of them. And that's one of those things about these trucks, with the top or the top of the truck, how it sticks up so high, and the spoilers on these trucks. Here at these short tracks, it's hard to see what's going on in front of somebody else.
Jose, Absolutely. Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, my friend. You know all about that as a racing driver yourself there. Jose Luis Rivera go in, Adam Newton and James Beard. We'll also thank Starbase Comics as well, too, as we go side by side, because Jacob, you know, for all your comic needs that you can get on eBay. And I'll tell you what, if you've got any of those old comics laying around, my friend, they are worth gold. They are worth gold. You never know what you have, isn't it? Certainly if you're into collectors of comics and action figures and all that jazz, get them online for your Starbase 1552comicshop.com, Jacob. May the force be
Absolutely.
with
There
you.
you see right there. Yes.
Yes.
May the force be with you, Jacob. Starbase.
Oh, Lord, don't start that. Don't start that.
Gonna start it.
Don't start that. It's not Halloween yet.
I
It's not
wish
Halloween
we
yet. You
have
can't
to
do
talk
that.
to to the our major sponsor, of course, this evening, which is the 213. I always get 312 213 213swimwear.com for for an ad from them as well too. Swimwear.
Oh, we got some
Simwear.
we got some beef.
Whoa.
We got some beef up here at
Have
the
we?
front. Yes,
Yeah.
we had a little bit of beef up here with Bradley and Jurassic up here. Bradley's whole back end is caved in
Oh, no.
from Jordan Jurassic. Green flag back in the air. Something amiss right there on that 29 and that 6. Maybe we can get an instant replay of that of what happened coming off of turn 4. But something amiss up there is now Bruce trying to dive down to the inside. Oh, Johnson gets loose. Bruce might have got into him, and now Tristan Bruce is going to lead him a lap here tonight as they are stacking up back there in the middle of the pack. But now Johnson fighting hard on that outside with Tristan Bruce.
Wow, well, there's a lot going on at the moment there, Jacob. We'll see if we can go back and actually have a look at the replay of that one, as you said. But, well, it's all happening, and it's all happening here at lap 146. We got 55 to go, Jacob. This will go by pretty quickly here. Ryan Johnson doesn't want to give up that lead. Tristan Bruce says, you've had it all race long. My turn.
Hey, you know, Dean, I was actually kind of looking. Boom! Door banging. Bruce and Johnson door banging going into turn 3. Side by side, door to door. Right here with about 50 laps to go here in the race. Still more door banging. Dean, that is short track racing at its finest. Right here with Tristan Bruce and Ryan Johnson. Both of them racing very, very clean. Now Johnson's going to get the run on the outside. Tries to jump back down. Gets in front of Tristan Bruce. Now Wood, he's going to be back here sitting in that 3rd spot waiting on something to pop off up here. And maybe Keith Bradley sitting in 4th. Maybe he's waiting on all 3 of them to clean themselves out. But I went back and I looked at that instant replay at the replay before the start. And I think it was just Bradley. Something happened. Maybe he was looking at his phone like Raul Meza. Maybe he kind of drove up, kind of got up in the fence, and Jurassic, nowhere to go, just kind of runs right into the back of him a couple of times when he was stuck into the wall. So not necessarily beef right there. Maybe it was just Bradley just didn't know what the hell was going on, I guess, at that particular point in time.
Oh, you got to pay attention, don't you? Short track racing. As we all know, Raul Mesa, who's ran at P20, as he did the other time he was racing on cam for us. But Tristan Bruce threw everything, the cats to dog, the kitchen sink, at Ryan Johnson. Ryan Johnson said, all right, you've tried, but mate, you got to bring a little bit more to that party next time. Bring me some flowers, bring me a Christmas card early or something like that, because you want to get past me, you've got to try. Of course, even with Demi Bruce and Sharon Bruce and all the Bruce supporters out there throwing the fan boost, got to do something to get past Ryan Johnson to take this victory here.
Well, I mean, I don't think he's got to worry about Ryan Johnson right now. He needs to be worried about MDW, who's right on his tailgate. Well, Wood works his way to the outside. Bruce going to slide up, try to block that advance. So Wood have to back away and try to have to find a different line. I bet you right now he ain't. Yeah, he's one-handed. Yeah, I was fixing to say, no way, he's one-handed right now trying to race against T. Bruce right here for that 2nd spot. I guess I was wrong. Yeah, I mean, he's doing it. I mean, he's making it look easy back there behind Tristan Bruce. The only problem is it ain't easy because he ain't got around him yet.
No,
but now both of them, both of them trying to work their way up here and maybe try to make it a 3-horse race. Is Bradley just trying to claw back up here and get in the middle of this as well. But the whole Bruce family pulling for OT Bruce here tonight. He may have a shot at trying to get this bad boy.
I think if it's anything, is MDW pushing him? Is he pushing him to catch up to Ryan Johnson? We'll keep an eye on those last times because they go by pretty quickly around here, as you are aware. There it is in the timing tower. So they're doing 19.8s, 19.9s, and 20s. So it's not enough. MDW's doing 20s. He's going to get to the 19 club. Another caution, Keith Hanley.
Keith Haney ends up going around. The pink animal of Goat Locker goes around. Jordan Jurassic, one of those drivers involved as well. But this actually happened up here in front of Haney. This was Schumann and Jurassic right here. The 52 of Brandon Schumann and the 6 of Jordan Jurassic when he was going into turn 3. And hell, they were bumper banging before they even went off into turn number 4. Or turn number 3, excuse me. You watch them go in right here. And, wow.
Oh, big left there, wasn't it? Oh, too fast for Brandon Schumann. It's a hard one, isn't it? It's always the case. Like, who's quick? Who's going too quick? Who's going too slow?
I think he just missed his breaking point right there. I got a feeling right there because, I mean, Jurassic's out there pretty good right there, and then Schumann just drives straight in there and just nails him. Then Schumann goes around. Haney just trying to miss it. He tried to part the seas, I guess you could say, like they was doing earlier on. And then, unfortunately, nowhere for him to go. I mean, he just kind of gets involved in this. Riding on board with the 87 of Keith Haney right here. Yeah. And here he goes right here. Just kind of comes straight up. Oh, he was probably thinking Jurassic was going to hit the wall and then come back down right there. If he would have, that every damn body would have hit him. But still, Haney was able to slip right by it. And we'll see if he can get back up here and get a hold of this as well. Jurassic going down, getting some damage fixed. Look like everybody else is staying out on the racetrack right here, Dean. Like I said, I got a feeling the only thing that would change right here, and I don't even think it would change that much, is if we had a late race caution with about maybe 20 to go. That might be when you see some guys go down and get tires. But I mean, it's really a 50-50. If it was me and I'm up here running at least in the top 5 up here, where Johnson, Bruce, MDW, Keith Bradley, and Dylan Cardenas up here, the new guy up here sitting in 5th. I was up there in that top 5. He gets down 20 to go. I'd already told the pit crew to go ahead and pack the damn war wagon up. We're done.
The war wagon. All right.
Seriously.
Yeah. Oh, okay. There, Jacob. All right. Let's see, because Keith is heading into pit road as well. I'll try to get you some information at the moment. The drivers of Matt Cherry in the 16th place. These are the drivers that just took advantage of that last caution to head down pit road. So they're the ones the freshest, like the gasoline to go to the end and the freshest boots to go to the end. Probably more the boots than anything. But we did remember how many tires that you had to, Jacob. So you've only got 3 total tire sets. Have some of the drivers used them up before? Matt Cherry's been down the pit road 4 times. But what about Joshua Rodriguez? A little bit further back from him. He's been down 7 times the pit road. So, that for banging out some damage. But how many of those boots does Joshua Rodriguez put on that car? And are they going to be in good condition or not? Or did he not change them? Are they still the same? Just because they pitted on lap 156 doesn't mean they actually necessarily change tires or put new tires on. But we do know.
I mean, you're right.
How about this, Jeff Merck? Here you go, my friend. He's been down a pit road twice. Everybody up the road from him has not. We're going to get ready to go green. But Jeff Merck, he might have some fresh tires on this. Jeff Merck, that's maybe the reason why Merck has gone pretty quickly through the field at the moment, too.
We'll see how that ends up working out. Sharon Bruce out there saying OT Bruce is a pro and restarts to see what happens. He wasn't on that one right there. Johnson able to gas up and get away. One driver back there, Cardenas, actually spun the tires, almost spun it out. Now Holden McGill trying to work to his outside, but you see in Tristan Bruce right here, he's got wood right on his tailgate. He better watch his back door. You got the past 2 champions right here, door banging. Bradley and Merck, both of them door bang coming off of turn 4. Bradley got up into the fence, came down and got into Merck. So two of the past, 2 seasons, the past 2 season champions right there, Merck and Bradley, both of them trying to duke it out for this 4th spot. But up front, Johnson still has it. Bruce still trying to hold on to 2nd. Wood is getting closer and closer to that back bumper. He's trying to worry him to death at this point as we got another caution on the field.
Yeah, Dylan. I think that might have been Dylan. Yes, it is. Whoa, that's going to be a big wreck if they stay up the fence and just not move. I think it might have been Dylan there, Jacob, that's had a little bit of a moment on our race restart here.
Yeah, I think he actually locks them up right here. He locks the brakes up big time, ends up spinning it around, and then Bullock, you can't even explain that one. Right here, watch Bullock come through here. Bullock just goes right through him, literally. I mean, he literally goes right through him. Yes, literally goes right through his truck. And then Cardenas able to gas back up and get through here. Check this out, right? This is going to be an interesting shot. This one may end up making TikTok right here. Check out Cardenas right here. Wow, Rodriguez and Beard go around as well, and the bam goes right through it.
Brandon had to go right, didn't he? Because they were avoiding the other collision behind there. So, yeah, you can't. It looked like, hey, from that angle before with the chopper camera, you couldn't see the other action, of course. But every action has an equal to opposite reaction. So there's other elements at play. Race control will be so busy. You can see on the inside apron there, the number 4, and James Beards had to react to that. These are the other drivers that are reacting to that accident that just occurred. So, as you know, you're all bunched up. They see those 2 cars up there, the 17 and 15, come together. And that's what caused James Beard to have a moment, which has caused a few other drivers to have a moment. We are seeing some drivers come back to pit road. Adam Newton, Dylan, as we just saw, involved in the incident, and Joshua Rodriguez, and Jose Luis Rivera also in there. They're probably maybe getting a little bit of damage dinged out of these cars as well, too, one of these cautions that we're having, Jacob. But Ryan Johnson still, he's like, come on, bring it. Someone challenged me for the race win at the moment, but these cautions are helping Ryan. Because as long as he gets those race restarts nailed, I don't think he can be beaten.
No, I mean, really, if he keeps on nailing it, and obviously he's got the advantage over everybody else, Dean, because he's on that inside lane. He's able to fire off whenever he wants to in that Geico restart zone, and everybody's basically got to wait on him unless they try to time it. If they end up trying to time it, Bruce tried to time it earlier, and he ended up... I'll be damned. Look at here. Mesa. Oh, Mesa. What are you doing, Mesa? You can't be on the phone while you're racing, man. We ought to put him in. We ought to bring him up here in the chat while he's on the phone.
We've got him.
But we don't want to invade privacy or nothing, but odds are he's probably trying to order a pizza or something. I figured he only done that for a week because I figured we give him help for it last week, and it turns out he still does it. But anyway, shout out there in the live chat who you think's going to win this thing. Is it going to be Johnson? Is it going to be Tristan Bruce? We're seeing some out there. We got
wake up! Hey, wake up, man! You're driving. He's
we got
back at the moment, hands off the steering wheel.
Yeah, we got Wood half asleep up here sitting in the 3rd spot with Jeff Merck and Holden McGill right behind him. So line it up out there in the live chat, all 30 of you. Let us know who's going to win this bad boy tonight. Is it going to be any of these guys up here, or are we fixing to see, like Steve the Viking Bartlett would say, some Nazra chaos? We're fixing to see it right here. And could it be somebody like Kyle Hess that started dead last in the field back there in the 17th spot, get up here and get the win? So it could be anybody in this field that's out here on the track right there. Everybody's still got a shot because we know how it is. Pace car off in the Geico restart zone. Green flag in the air. Bruce spins the tires. Johnson able to gas up. Here comes Wood. MDW down to the inside. Now Merck and Bradley. They're going to race door to door. Coming off of turn 2. Basically looking like a pace lap coming off of turn 2 and going into turn 3. Everybody double file with the exception of the pace car. And that's your leader, Ryan Johnson.
Merck has the boots. We assume that Merck might have the boots here to take advantage of the situation because we got Greg Green with 31 to go. He should be able to find the grip in places that other drivers can't find with those old worn boots right now. But at the moment, he's not going to be. He's got Tristan Bruce to worry about. MDW is trying to do anything to make sure Ryan Johnson doesn't get up the road too far. And of course, in the meantime, you've still got the likes of the Animal Key, Bradley, Holden McGill, still lurking in the background, ready to seize the opportunity if any of these drivers come together too close.
A lot of guys up here that's wanting to get them a shot to try to get them a win, like Jeff Merck. Haven't won a race all season, but he has a chance to get up here. Remember, Dean, he's going to be in a little bit of a hole if he does make the playoffs because that first race when we go to Chicagoland, he ain't going to be able to make it. Going to be on vacation as Wood drives in, trying to see if he can hold it down and try to maybe intimidate Ryan Johnson a little bit, maybe try to throw him off. But I'll say this, he's going to have to try something completely different. That ain't going to happen. Ryan Johnson easily not intimidated. Caution's out. We got another spin off of 3 and 4.
Shane tried up for the Surfboat caution at the moment, number 16. It looks like, Shane Trotter has made well, I say he didn't. Oh, it's the inside apron, isn't it? That's a little bit of a tangle into the corner there, Jacob. You can explain this one.
Yeah, he made a boo-boo right there. Is what happened right there coming off.
Oh, there's a few drivers. So one of the defense too, wasn't it? up there.
Yeah, a couple of them right there. Blanchard actually kind of maybe comes down right here a little bit, maybe chops the nose right here on the 16. Actually, Trotter was already sending it in there pretty hard. He tries to straighten the truck back out. And you got Matt Cherry. Matt Cherry, at this point, he's just hoping like hell that this sucker will be over with, really, because he's been caught up in a whole lot of stuff here tonight. Granted, he's up here almost fixing to get him a top 10. If he gets a top 10, I'll be surprised. You got Jurassic right there. Gets into Trotter as well a little bit. They had a little bit of a stack up with Keith Haney back there as well. But give a tip of the hat to the 45 of Matt Cherry. We saw this boy back here literally 2 or 3 laps down at one point in that number 45. Right there, that black truck on the inside as he goes past Shane Trotter right here. That boy right there has been at least 3-4 laps down at one point, and now he's up here in prime position to at least get him a top 10. Tip of the cap goes to the 45 here so far this evening.
Yeah, let's watch at the moment Matt Cherry's incredible skills to avoid an incident. That's 16. Most people would panic at the moment. Just lifts off a little bit. 16's twirly-whirly everywhere. Onto the gas pedal. Matt goes, okay, the only thing I can do right now is I know I've got to get you on the speed. Look at that. 16's going loosey-goosey again. Matt Cherry's going to be not distracted by that. Meanwhile, there's cars behind, cars ahead, and on his way for the Scottsville driver to continue on up into P12, as you'd mentioned, Jacob. So get on you there, Matt.
Absolutely right there from Scottsville, Kentucky. Matt Cherry, he's up there in that area where they got all that whiskey. Yeah, he's up there with that bourbon, that moonshine, all that good stuff that we absolutely love. And there you see Raul Meza.
Off the phone.
Waiting on him to pull the phone up. Yep, no phone just yet. It looks like he's kind of riding around. I think he might have ordered that pizza. He knows that we got about 30 laps left in this bad boy, so he went ahead, ordered the pizza, gets sent in here. Not a problem one bit. But, Dean, granted, we've had 16 cautions here this evening. Mm-hmm. Like I've said before, I believe that this, in my opinion, has been one of the more better races in NASRA. Unless the next 25 laps are every single one of them's caution, then it may change my mind. But so far, I still think that it is one of the better races here with NASRA. Was checking out some of you out there. Dawn Merck, she's pulling for old Pookie. Brady LaBeouf, Boss Man chiming in watching tonight.
Oh.
Winner is one of the top 3, so Brady, you got to pick one of them. You can't pick the top 3. You got to pick one of them. Catherine Beverly,
that's Pookie.
Go MTD, so I'm assuming she's talking about MTW. You got this, Matthew, obviously, so she's going for MDW. So we got a lot of people out here pulling for them right here, Dean. Yeah. A lot of these guys out here. We'll see how this works out for them here tonight. Pace truck is off. Hit the Geico restart zone. 23 to go when they hit the line. Green flag in the air once again. Johnson, big stack up. Merck up here, I believe that is. Is that Jeff Merck? Yes, it is. Something amiss on old Pokey's truck up there on the number 60. Straight up just loses numerous spots as Tristan Bruce going to dive down to the inside. He's going to try to go for second.
Ryan Johnson once again holding off the race lead. MDW can't do too much about the race start at the moment. He's going to try hold off Tristan Bruce. Keith Bradley's now taking that position because old Pookie, unfortunately, did have a tank slapper against the fence, and it's dropped him all the way back. Okay, see actually at the moment where he's on the time table there. Jeff Merck in P16. He's in the Hornet's nest right now there, Jacob. Not a place he wanted to be. Wreck in the background. I think, no, it's not. Is that John Jurassic and the inside apron lives to see another day. It's heating. There's 21 to go, Jacob. Ryan Johnson still leading, but MDW is now closest, and we've seen this before. This is don't adjust your pictures and TV. This is not a replay. MDW and Ryan Johnson go for P1.
Absolutely trying to battle it out right here with 20 laps to go. And Dean, I just went and I looked at what happened to Jeff Merck. I think it was a misshift. I bet you he was in second gear and was trying to go to third, and I think he ended up messing up and shifting it up into first right there. And I think that had a lot to do with why they kind of got in that situation where the truck just kicked straight to the right and ends up tank slapping it. And that's why he's back there in the 17th spot. Now we're seeing some more of you chiming in. A bunch of you out there pulling for old MDW. Some of you was pulling for Tristan Bruce. One on the tailgate. Gives him a shot in the tailgate, but caution is out once again. You see MDW. He's pissed off. He wants this sucker to get going. He's got a shot at Johnson. These cautions are straight up killing MDW right here from trying to get this win.
I think it might have been Brandon as well, too. I'm not sure. Seeing something at the moment. Broadfoot is where is Brandon Broford there? He is the 22 machine. Now he's going very, very slow into the corner, isn't it? Or the 20, and I think he might get... No, he's actually had to react to Raul Mesa. Has Raul on his cell phone again?
He might have been on the phone. That might have been what it was. I think he was on the phone right there, and I think that's what kicked him sideways, Dean. Honestly, I think it might have been what it was.
Let's have a look at live cameras of Raul Mesa, too, as we're looking at what happened with Raul Mesa. There he is. Well, that's Raul Mesa now, but we can't see what happened with his camera before the corner.
You're trying to dirt track it.
Yeah. Well, that's going to be the one thing that's going to be, as making MDW do that. I'll say that a lot, isn't it? It's the fact of that. Like, every time MDW gets close and a shot to try to take the lead away from Ryan Johnson, a caution comes out. And you got to restack him and do it all over again. And the problem is, time is not on his side anymore. There's about 17 to go.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he is very, very upset about this, and and I don't blame him a bit, because it's hard for him to get around him on these restarts when Johnson's on the inside lane, and he's able to control these restarts, Dean. So obviously, I see his frustration and what is going on right there with MDW right there, trying to get up here and get this win right here. There you see Schumann right there going in, as well as Brandon Broadfoot, Meza, maybe trying to go in and make him a phone call right here. But we'll see how this works. You knew I was going to go there, Dean. We'll see what happens right here with this, and see how all this ends up playing out right here. Pace lights is still on, maybe doubling back up right here for a restart, and pace lights may go out. No, they're not. They're going to stay on. So I tell you what, Dean, let's take a quick commercial break. Bring everybody back here for the finale here at Martinsville. Don't go anywhere. You've been watching the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series live on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. Well, folks, we are back here at Martinsville. Redneck announcer Jake Reeves here, as well as the Australian Dean Hopton Biggles. Been with you all the way from the start of the race. And, Dean, I got a feeling we're in for a shootout right here.
MDW's got to try to do something about Ryan Johnson from taking this race win away. And Ryan Johnson been locking himself into the playoffs as well, too. He doesn't have a padlock. MDW does. But EDW wants to take this win. Once you've got a race win up your sleeve, my friend, it's addictive. You want more. Let's go racing.
Oh boy, and Wood's going to spin the tires big time on the inside, or on the outside lane rather. Now Bruce, he's going to be up there trying to give him a kick in the shorts as we got another caution on the Speedway. Big pile up back here. Adam Newton gets involved in this as well back here. I think maybe a little bit of door banging too much right there between him and Jordan Jurassic from what it looked like on my end. And yeah, that's pretty much what it was. Jurassic kind of slides up, gets into him. We'll see it right here on the instant replay.
Yep, here we go, my friend. So, as you said, Adam Newton. And there it is. Concertina effect up the road, isn't it? Ooh.
Wow, Kyle Hess went all the way down to the wall and tried to put a block right there on Joshua Rodriguez. And maybe that had a little bit to do with why Jurassic might have came up the hill right there. I mean, you hate to see it for Adam Newton because Newton started in the 4th spot, Dane, and he's all the way back here in the 26th spot. He is no. I tell you what, you thought Wood was mad a while ago. Newton is, yeah, he's upset. He's about as mad as you can get right here at this point right here. That's bad.
You called it, my friend. You called it. Let's have a look at James Speed.
I'll put it to you this way. He's madder than a Keebler elf getting demoted to fudge packers.
That was cool.
Emotional damage.
There you go.
We'll put it to you that way. That's pretty much what he's at basically right now. So, but yeah, there you see James Beard also getting involved in this as well. So Newton back there in the 27th spot. down pit road, going to try to get some of that fixed, and be back out here. And, you know, I mean, I would love to bring up MDW right here and bring him up here in the booth and just kind of see what his mindset is, what he's thinking about, what he thinks he needs to do right here. But, Dean, the only thing really that he's got to do is it's out of his control to get up here and get this win. It's out of his control. It's in everybody else's control as far as these cautions goes.
And Christian Bruce as well. I mean, we got everybody from the Bruce clan tuning in and shunning in as well too. So we got big supports there from MDW fans and family and so forth. Christian Bruce too. Where's Ryan Johnson's family and friends too? Perhaps they're also watching. But these three, everybody's got to try to do something. I mean, Tristan Bruce and MDW, they got to try to work together really to save Ryan Johnson, to take it away from Ryan Johnson here. But you're each to their own, isn't it? With 9 to go, it's a sprint race. It's out of the gate to see who can do anything about it. And Ryan Johnson, he's done it so many times, hasn't he? Essentially he's done it for about, let's say 17 times race restarts. So I think he's got that rehearsal down right now. Just continue to do it again. What can Tristan Bruce and MDW do? And it may very much be a battle of who wants P2 between those two.
We'll see how that ends up working out. And don't forget, Keith Bradley is right back here behind all this as well. Of a, only 2-time champion in Nazareth sitting back there in that fourth spot right now. So, I mean, we can't count out Keith, obviously, and then Holden McGill, who's been on a tear this season as well. So you can't really count out neither one of those guys. They're right here in the middle of this. We've been talking about Johnson, Bruce, and Wood. Those other two back there, we can't count them out as well. Coming to 7 to go. Green flag in the air. Johnson gasses up. Bruce going to dive down as hard as he could. Found a hole. Snuck it in there. Now he's going to be on the tailgate of Ryan Johnson. Now Wood's going to get kicked back to the 3rd spot. Right behind him, Keith Bradley trying to hold down 4th as much as he can. He's going to have Stephen Gregory get up to his back bumper and try to maybe muscle him out of the way. Here comes Wood to the inside. Caution out once again.
Oh, we almost got it. Looks like down the field. I'm quite sure who it is there, Jacob. James Beard, yes. So that's very much unfortunate for the 25 racing machine there running in 28th place. Just as we start to get some green flag racing, race control may very much start saying single file or something like that soon. I don't know what you can do if we start getting into just consistently chipping away, isn't it, at any of the green flag racing that we can. Definitely, I think you called it there, Jacob. 3 green, white, checkered attempts there. I think at this point, at this pace, we're certainly going to be looking at using all those up.
Yeah, I think I already jinxed this thing because I kept sitting there saying that this was going to be a good race. This was going to make the good race poll. And then, I mean, there you see Beard. Beard, not really doing anything egregious right there. Just dives in, back in, just kind of steps out. And that's just one of those things here at Martinsville. I mean, some of the accidents we've seen tonight have been guys that have kind of drove in a little bit deep and maybe get in there, get somebody around. That was just some of the issues, but most of it ain't really been their fault. Maybe they're over aggressively driving the truck in the tailgate, and the back end decides to step out a little bit. Some of them have been where guys have been coming in right behind one another and they may see a spin up in front of them and they can't see it because of just how the truck is built and how they're sitting in the truck. They can't see what's going on in front of that other truck, and it just puts them in that situation to where they end up getting in the back of somebody and end up spinning them out. You see Wood right there. He looks like he's ready to go to sleep. He really does. He really does. He looks like he's ready to go to sleep right now. He's just ready for
come on. She's like, we believe that so there's obviously a whole bunch of people out there watching, but we believe that MDW can win. So.
Well, what do you think, Dean? Do you believe that he can get the win here tonight?
No, the problem is the laps are clicking over against him. That's the biggest problem, isn't it? I mean, MDW is the one that can believe and will believe, but unfortunately, it's just not enough track time, isn't it? He's got to get past Tristan Bruce, who's also thinking they can get past Ryan Johnson. And they can, but they need laps up their sleeve because, one thing to catch is nothing to overtake, and you just don't have enough time. That's the unfortunate thing. That may be why you're seeing a little bit of the disappointment in MDW face right now, knowing that I think time's on my side.
Well, the problem right now, Dean, is that you're going to get down to green, white, checkered time right here, and all the Karen is fixing to go straight out the door. That's exactly what's fixing to happen. So nobody's really going to care anymore. Everybody's just going to send it in there and try to make it stick the best way that they can. And that's where you may end up seeing more issues right now. Or here in this race, folks. This is going to go into overtime. Green, white, checkered attempt right here. Number one, if this is your first time with us, how green, white, checkers go. They will take the green flag this next time by as the pace lights is off on the pace truck. They'll come around, they'll take the green flag. If they get back to the white flag and they take that white flag, the race will be official. They can all wad them up going into turn one. Whoever makes it back first, they get the win. If we get a caution before they get back to that white flag, we'll re-rack them, restack them, do it again for at least 2 more times. If it happens on the 3rd time, field is frozen, it will end under caution. And every single one of you out there in the live chat, I know damn well that y'all don't want to see this sucker end under caution. We want to see a green flag finish, and we got to have a good shot at it. Here we go. Ryan Johnson, he gets away with the lead. Bruce gets into the turn number 1 and 2, drove right up to his tailgate, but Johnson sets sail. He is clear, all clear, and he's trying to get away. Is now Stephen Gregory going to get up here and maybe have a shot at a podium finish? Coming off 4, will they make it to the line? Bevan spins in the back, but it is going to be too late for a caution. We will finish this sucker under green. Johnson all by himself up at the front. Tiny Horse in the 38 for Highline Racing. We'll get it done here tonight at Martinsville. He's going to win him a virtual clock. He's going to win the 213simware.com 250 at Martinsville. Bruce and Wood will finish 2nd and 3rd. Matter of fact, Johnson finished on the pole. Bruce ended up finishing 2nd. That's exactly where he started. Wood started 3rd. That's exactly where he finished as well. So 1, 2, 3 where they started. That's exactly how they finished, Dean.
Oh, yeah, you're absolutely right. So here is the Nazareth chaos that happened towards the end. There was a few drivers that went into the fence. Everybody had to risk it for the biscuit, didn't they? Trish and Bruce tried everything. MDW. Stephen Gregory almost got around MDW as well. And Holden McGill will wrap up the top 5. And that's a destination. I think Ryan Johnson's going to do what Ryan Johnson does. And there it is. The tradition. And this is the first time he's had to do it for the C.O.P.S series. Because this is the first time he's had a race win. And he'll do his reverse celebration victory lap. Won't take him too long on this track either, will it, Jacob?
No, I don't even know how he does that right there. Because, I mean, if I tried to do that right there, especially with people watching, if people was watching on a live broadcast like this, no way I could do that right there. No way. Me trying to back up and go around right there, I would have already wrecked it going through turn 1 and 2, but looks like he's going to be able to get it all the way around, and that is a tradition right there for Ryan Johnson when he gets the win. Now he's got to burn it down right here on the front straightaway at Martinsville, number 39 of Ryan Johnson, Tiny Horse, as we like to call him, from Salem, Wisconsin. I'm assuming that's what the WI stands for. Yes, so Salem, Wisconsin gets the win here tonight. As there you see the race results. Ryan Johnson, Tiny Horse gets the win. T. Bruce, Tristan Bruce will end up finishing 2nd. At MDW, Matthew David Wood will end up finishing 3rd. Stephen Gregory started 13th. He's going to end up finishing 4th. With Holden McGill, like I said, past guest on the door banging download, will end up finishing 5th. This is the big one right here for me, Dean. Matt Cherry was 3 laps down earlier on in this race. Somehow or another started 25th, was 3 laps down, comes back and gets almost up in the top 5. He finishes 6th. That, like I said, is a tip of the cap right there for that 45. It didn't even qualify. Just started at the back, tried to miss all the chaos, ended up paying off for it. Devin Painter will end up finishing in 7th with Stephen Thomas finishing in 8th. Hell, Stephen Thomas ended up starting 30th and ended up finishing 8th, almost dead last. Brian Chu started 17th. He's going to get 9th. And Jeff Merck, he's still going to be able to round him out a top 10. Joshua Rodriguez started 26th. He'll get 11th with Keith Haney. The Pink Animal Goat Locker started 29th. He'll get 12th. Kyle Hess started dead last, literally dead last. He will end up finishing 13th, with Dylan Cardenas end up finishing in the 14th spot. Brandon Bullock gets 15th. Adam Newton was able to soldier back as much as he could. He ended up finishing 16th, with Jordan Jurassic 17th. Eric Zimmerman 18th. Joshua Suss gets 19th, and Chris Blanchard gets 20th. Ed Osborne 21st. Brandon Schumann 22nd. Shane Trotter 23rd. Keith Bradley 24th. James Beard will get 25th. Raul Meza 26th. Isaac Bevan will end up finishing 27th. Last driver to finish on the lead lap. Jose Luis Rivera, Hunt Wigington, Brandon Broadfoot, Cody Knott, the 31 drivers here tonight for the 213simware.com 250 TJ Moore, your race control. Folks, we're going to take a quick commercial break, round up our podium finishers. Don't go anywhere. You've been watching the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series here live on the NASRA 360 Racing Network.
Starbase 1552 Comics. We sell everything a collector would want. Comics, Funkos, action figures, and so many more. A real American comic book shop. We are online only. Starbase 1552 Comics. Find us on eBay Auctions.
Well, folks, we're back here at Martinsville seeing Tiny Horse do a little burnout right there going through whichever turn that was. We got him up here in the broadcast booth. Ryan Johnson, Tiny Horse, number 38, gets the win here tonight. Ryan, tell us about your race, because you literally, I mean, you had it in the bag here tonight pretty much. You started up front, this second where you finished. Tell us about your race.
Holy hell, I'm glad that's over. Yeah, when you interviewed me mid-race, I was like, man, I was kind of hoping for more caution towards the end once I got out front, because Matthew was fast. Tristan put a ton of pressure on us. Yeah, I don't know what the hell was going to happen, but it was a clean race, honestly, up front. We even caught some lap traffic there mid-race. That was that was a new experience for me. Catching that much lap traffic, it was pretty cool. Yeah, man, it was kind of fun, but holy cow, that was a lot of caution.
Well, I mean, you was wanting the cautions and you got them. So, I mean, you can't really get mad about that. I mean, you wanted them, you asked for them, and then you got them. But right, finally, you get the win here on the Friday night series. You'll be able to put yourself locked into the playoffs. I mean, does this one mean a little bit more knowing that you had to, that it took a little bit for you to get that win to be able to lock yourself into the playoffs? Does this one mean a little bit more knowing that you had to work for it and you was maybe a little bit worried about, is there a possibility that maybe I could get wrecked here at Martinsville and Daytona and it may end up putting me in a hole to where I may not make it?
Oh my God. Talk about work for it and having to wait for it. Man, I've been trying all season. I've been so close, and just bad luck and bad positioning sometimes on my part. Just everything went the wrong way. And finally, at the track that I really didn't expect to perform tonight, we finally got one. You ain't lying about that. I'm very happy about it. It means a little bit more, yes, but oh man, we'll see what happens in the playoffs. I don't think I'm locked in. I think I've missed too many races, but I'm not sure about that. But I'm just trying to stay top 20 right now and make it to the playoffs and see what we can do.
We'll see how that ends up working out for you, Ryan. But we'll see what happens. Tiny Horse gets the win here tonight from the pole. Led, I believe I saw 191 of the 202 laps here this evening. Ryan, appreciate your time. Congratulations on the win. And before we let you go, you got any sponsors, any shout-outs that you want to thank?
Yeah, just Brady and everyone here at Nazareth putting the league together. You guys for broadcasting. I think I'm the only one left of my teammates, but everyone at Highline, Jason, for signing me on, and Blue Line for letting me hang out with them in Discord. Yeah, my family, friends. Hopefully they were tuning in tonight. It's my birthday, so pretty cool to get a win on my birthday.
Well, happy birthday to the tiny horse. How about that one right there?
Let's all sing happy. No, we won't do that to you, Aaron.
Sing happy birthday to Dan. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Sing happy birthday to. Yeah, yeah. And absolutely. I mean, and you talked about you the last one to Highline. Shout out to Jason Morales. Just straight up just leave y'all hanging on Friday night. Just straight up leave you hanging and you the only one left. But hey, you still ended up getting the win here tonight. Congratulations on that. We'll see you at Daytona next week, buddy.
Thanks, buddy. Hopefully I don't get in trouble.
We'll see what happens. Happy birthday once again, buddy. That was Ryan Johnson. Gets it done. Gets the win here tonight. Now we'll bring in our second place finisher. That's T. Bruce. Tristan Bruce in the number 3. Gets second here tonight. Tristan, congratulations on the win. And excuse me, congratulations on second. Yeah, I'm sure you wished you won. I wasn't trying to add insult to injury, but the question that I was going to ask, and I believe I probably know what the answer is. What more could you have done to be able to try to get the win here tonight?
I mean, nobody had anything for Ryan tonight. He was the fastest one out there, and it was clear. It was about 40 or so to go. It was a restart. I gave Ryan a shove and shuffled him to the outside. And honestly, that was the only way any of us, me and MDW, was going to get by him. So I did that, and he was just able to hang out on my outside really strong. So happy birthday to him. This was a absolutely terrible race. Everyone from about 10th on back are freaking idiots tonight. But 2 second places in a row. Yeah, I mean, it's the truth. Y'all watched it. Everyone watched it. But hopefully next week will be better. I got the Dash for Cash win tonight, so happy about that. And yeah, we all expected this race to be like that. Come on. But just wish it would have been better.
Absolutely. But Tristan, it's kind of, I said it earlier on, when the race started, that I was sitting there thinking, okay, this may be one of the better races that we've had at Martinsville. And it's a possibility I might have jinxed y'all. But there, before all the chaos happened, the Nazareth chaos and everything, just cautions back to back. When it was right there at the first part of the race, did you actually sit there and think the same way I was thinking, that, damn, this might actually be a good Martinsville race?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we had that a decently long green flag run, caught lap traffic. I was just getting up to the lap traffic. I hadn't really caught it yet, and unfortunately a caution came out. But I thought, we're having a good run right here. Hopefully we can keep this going, but it's also Martinsville, Nazareth chaos, so you can't expect too highly to have a good race here, but all in all, second place Dash for Cash winner. Can't complain. My guys at Chrome Racing, Bevan, was looking to have a strong top 10 tonight. Unfortunately, got wrecked on 2 to go, coming to the white. Schumann was doing pretty good, ran top 10 most first half of the race, and got caught up in something, had to work his way back. But just, proud of us here at Chrome Racing tonight.
Absolutely. Tristan Bruce gets second, exactly where he started here tonight. Congratulations on that. And before we let you go, you got any other sponsors or shout-outs that you want to thank?
Absolutely. Always Dan Gobble with Chrome Racing. He supports us greatly, so we appreciate him. All my family, they watch every Friday night, and my other 2 leagues, Tuesday, Wednesday night. So very grateful to have a whole bunch of support watching me do these races, and you guys up in the broadcast booth. Always love watching these races. Go back and rewatch it right after we finish. And Brady with the whole Nazareth 360 network.
Absolutely. Tristan Bruce comes home second here tonight, buddy. Appreciate your time, and we'll see you at Daytona next Friday night.
Thank you, sir.
That was Tristan Bruce. T. Bruce gets second here tonight. Now we'll go to the third place finisher. And he looked like he was about half asleep earlier on. Maybe he's still awake. MDW, Matthew David Wood. Matt, you awake, buddy? You good over there?
Where am I? Where am I exactly?
That sounds about right. Well, I mean, MDW, you had a lot of fans out there in live chat cheering you on here tonight. Obviously, the boss man was pulling for you, obviously with the Mission One Esports kind of deal with that. But MDW, congratulations on that third place finish. Tell us about your race.
I mean, I feel like I had the fastest truck. I just couldn't get around Ryan. He made it impossible. To be honest, I haven't seen that good of defending in a long time. So he got dirty with me a while, and I probably should have moved him, but I didn't. I was afraid. I'm always afraid if I move somebody up the track, no matter how mad I am at him, I'll wreck him. I won't move him. I'll wreck him. And I didn't want to. I touched him once, but I backed off. I didn't want to pass him like that. But I mean, it just sucks. I mean, I haven't won on an oval in a year and probably about a year, I think. The one time I feel I had the pace to win it without strategy. Every time I try to make a move, there's a yellow, and I'm going to take a step further than Tristan did. There's a reason that the people in the back that are in the back. There was 90% of all the wrecks happened 15th on back, 20th on back. One happened right in front of us on that green flag run. It was a self-spin. So, I mean, it's unfortunate. Martinsville is tough, but, I mean, come on. But, I want that oval win so bad. And, congratulations to Ryan. I mean, he drove one heck of a race. I tried everything to get around him. That's when I touched him, actually. Fun fact. I just turned around to see that, but perfect timing. But, yeah, happy birthday to him. Congrats to Tristan on the Dash for Cash. Thought I had him, but, I couldn't do anything on them restarts. Thought I had him. I would be stuck on the outside, then he'd be stuck on the outside, then I'd be stuck on the outside, then he'd be stuck on the outside. Then eventually my tires were just killed. I couldn't get a good start for anything. But I don't know. It just I feel like this goes back to qualifying. I really messed up my lap. I was running really, really good laps in practice and messed up my first lap, spun on my second, and unfortunately that, in my opinion, might have been what cost me it. But what do you got around me? We'll never know. But either way, I think at least up front it was a good race. We know it wasn't in the back half, but yeah, overall, I mean, I'll keep the points lead, I believe, so that's a good thing.
You pretty much answered my second question, so we'll just go with the third one right here, which is MDW. Appreciate your time. Congratulations on that third place finish. And before we let you go, you got any sponsors, any shout outs you want to thank?
Yeah, the group that was watching me, I know one of the groups that were watching me. Cameron, I know you're out there. I know my pops is actually out there watching. Love him. Steve, I know you, Steve. But yeah, just everybody out there that was supporting me. NJB Designs making the car. Thank you two that are up here right now, racing me at least halfway decent. That was pretty fun, actually. You guys for what you do, and finally thank the Lord for what He's done for me. Every week I have to.
Absolutely. Well, MDW, buddy, congratulations on that third place finish. Appreciate your time, and we'll see you in South Florida, Daytona Beach, next week.
Thank you.
That was MDW, comes home third here tonight at Martinsville. Dean Strillion,
Jacob,
final thoughts on a short track here at Martinsville, all the chaos that we saw. Final thoughts.
Oh, it's fun. It's fun. I mean, the drivers were saying, as they said, the rest of the pack they're not happy with, but that's what short track racing is about. It's good for some. It's not so good for others. And it's just the way it is. And, well, the top three started in those positions. They finished those positions. Stephen Gregory up 9 places, finished in P4. Don't forget about him. Matt Cherry, you mentioned. The old Matt Star, the number 45 machine, 19 places. So it worked out quite well for him to finish in that P6. And Stephen Thomas, 22 positions, P8. And that's with all the Nazareth carnage and all the Martinsville carnage that occurred too. So hats off to those drivers as well, Jacob.
Well, I'm telling you, Dean, I mean, it was a pretty good one here tonight. Obviously, it could have went maybe a little bit better. Obviously, some of these drivers, obviously Wood, Bruce, entitled to their opinions. And, you know me, I'm all for people wanting to express their own opinions. It is what it is on that. May end up getting them on the door banging, download, and letting them both hash it out at one time, I guess. But anyway, that's going to do it for us here tonight. I mean, Martinsville, it is what it is. It's short track racing, bumper banging, guys getting into one another, spitting each other out. You get your door banging, you get your chaos, and you end up getting your winner. But I mean, at one point, there was a little bit of a long green flag run, and it kind of did help it a little bit. So it wasn't necessarily a huge caution fest, but at the same time, I agree with them to a certain extent. Maybe it could have got cleaned up a little bit. We'll talk a little bit more about that on the door banging download. Appreciate the drivers for everything that they do, putting on a show. Obviously, every one of you out there in the live chat, all the fans for each and everything that y'all do, to coming out supporting your family, friends, however you want to look at it. All our sponsors, obviously the Concerns of Police Survivors, title sponsor for the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series, DSR Electric for the Monday Series, Blanchard's Towing, Xfinity, also Starbase 1552 Comics, Murph's Magical Creations, Premier Racing Setups, all those sponsors, and obviously Brady the Buff, Cody Dott for everything that they do with the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. And as always, also 213simware.com for being the title sponsor here tonight of the 213simware.com 250 here this evening. If you have not yet, make sure you go like and subscribe to the Nazareth 360 Racing Network and be able to follow everything that's going on here with Nazareth. For the Australian Dean Hopton Bengals, I'm the redneck announcer, Jake Reeves, saying as I always say, be safe, be kind, be fast, and folks, it's all come down to next week. We're going to find out who's going to be in that top 20, who is going to make it up under the lights at Daytona. We're going to be 3 wide, 4 wide, and we're going to have another big one. We're going to have some chaos, and you're going to see it all live right here on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. We're going Daytona, baby. We love Daytona. We love super speedways. We love the big ones. Catch it next Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, live and only on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network.